for me. My brother Jack, so I posted something on Snapchat, absolutely unhinged. And my brother Jack and my friend Cole have sent me DMs. And we're going to see what they say. We're going to see what they say. What does Cole Walker have to say? I love Cole Walker. He's a great guy.
Okay, the live stream is up. If you want to announce something in tree mail, Noah.
I'll do that instead of later announcements.
My brother Jack just responded with a bunch of question marks. Classic Jack. He doesn't understand.
Hello, Thomas.
I'm just going to tell him shit posting. Don't worry.
Thomas.
Oh.
Can you see anything?
Yeah.
Oh, those are good glasses.
I got them when I was sick.
Hello, Zoe. Hi, Zoe.
Hello. Welcome to the show.
This is the lighting.
Yeah, but like
This is what we're going with.
No rainbow lighting? Cheap.
Had to work with the budget we got.
Yeah.
how is it depressing? It's cool.
It's dramatic.
It's intriguing.
Hello, Gannon.
There he is, the man himself, the final man.
All right. Now that everyone's here, I
Let's
am
get
going
it.
to. Oh, I just realized that I'm going to reveal this on camera. It's recording right now, so
Yeah.
no one's here. So it
Fuck it
doesn't
up.
matter. But no one will be able to see it because it's going to be there.
Yeah. Insane.
Ayo.
Insane in the membrane.
Y'all fucking ready?
Insane in the
I'm
brain.
so ready. Scoobs, you have no idea.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Y'all ready for this?
Morgan,
If you want.
are you ready?
Oh.
Technology.
Wow!
Ayo.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wait, what is that?
Graffiti.
You did it. You did it.
I did it.
You did.
It's if you don't recognize it.
Get them.
Oh yeah.
Would you like to explain to the people who didn't watch this in the room?
Yeah, please.
I'll keep it in the mic.
I don't see it.
Wait, can you explain it though? Because a lot of people haven't watched
I'll
it.
explain it. What if I
I
make like a little?
actually went to Target.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Can you do that one more time, Scoobs? And Mason, can you?
Oh wait, hold on. Let me change into my. What do you want?
I have a really cool info idea.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Tell me.
Are you taking a video?
Okay, what? No, I'm taking a picture, but I'm trying to get a good angle.
I like your.
Yeah, what is yours?
Thank you, Bestie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do an animatic in the time that it's taking for the people to arrive.
But like, tell me.
It's just
Tell me. Yes, it's not. Yes, hi.
Right, hold on a
I'm
second.
good. I'm great.
Get the shot with the get the goblet. Get
the ball.
I get the goblet.
Oh my god. And
Would you like to explain what this is?
I will explain.
Okay. Cassidy. Yes, please.
And I'll just.
What's that?
So fucking
Thank you.
good. Okay. So the explanation for this is. I'm going to. Okay. Leave that on. Leave that on. Put it there. Okay. So the explanation for this is based on the movie poster for the 80s horror movie Gremlins 2, the new batch. Never seen Gremlins. Gremlins is a good ass movie. You should watch it. The concept of Gremlins is these cute little furry things. Like the little guy in the drawer. He's a mogwai. So that guy exists in this world, and if you get it wet, it multiplies. And if you feed them after midnight, they turn into these like green monsters. So that's the whole like horror aspect of it. That's what the Gremlins are. So Gremlins 2 is just kind of like a continuation on that story.
Killing you myself.
But the idea came because next
What?
semester is going to be fall semester, so there's going to be Halloween and stuff, so we get to play with that kind of thing. And also, new batch, freshmen! We get freshmen.
I
So,
think it's best when it's all freshmen.
but yeah. So, and then if you look like over here in the corner on this old ass computer, that's just Discord on the computer. Gizmo's wearing the Codemaster glasses. We got film strips. We got Swayze Chapel in the background instead of a New York City skyline. I tried my best.
Dark Swayze.
Dark Swayze.
Swayze night mode.
But yeah, so that's the poster. That will be revealed at the end of Final Tribal. Hi, Sarah. How you doing?
Fuck with it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm obsessed. I cannot wait.
You gotta be the paparazzi.
So true.
So you just see me and
I did Thursday. It's kind of bad, but I'm like, you know what? It's the best it's gonna be, so I just said, you know, we're gonna go with it. Originally, I was like,
yeah. I like your purple. Okay.
All right. If everyone in production can get out of the front row, that's the great, please.
Where do we go? Do you want us on the side?
Mason, I have a gift for
Oh, you're very patient.
Oh, you are quite I am incredibly.
you know what? Really?
Yeah, you get like we get to the side of the front row, but jury will be this like front and center.
Do we want to go in number order?
Yeah, I like that.
I would probably get to
I think
another
oh, you
round
brought
again.
Pringles.
I need to get rid of all the
No, I know. I need to get rid of all the uneven food in my room, so I'm slowly pursing it out with no one. I still am.
Fair enough.
Okay, I actually need to get my water bottle. I'm trying my best.
You are so goddamn cool.
So wait, I'm the fourth. So do I come to sit on number 4? Okay. Yeah. We have.
Well, you're jury.
So you're juror, yeah.
Oh shit.
So then.
So you were in the last chair. You were the last juror. So.
Yeah, we're spectators. So true. We love it. We love to see it.
They're gonna be.
I know Emmett was on the call earlier.
Yeah. Might have.
Hello!
Can we get some lights in here?
Fuck you.
At least until everyone gets settled down.
We're gonna be dramatic as fuck, so no.
At least
You gotta get like a shut off sign going. Everybody's gonna be their own.
At 2 o'clock, the house lights will be going down again.
Turn back.
Hello, welcome to Final Tribal.
Alright, on his way. Alec is able to do like something. Margaret's in. So she'll be up there when we're ready. Ricky, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's just in.
Hello. Welcome.
What a fellow.
We love the entire freaking theater. Everyone's
A Yankee with no brim? He has a Yankee with no brim.
I don't like that.
We got purple cat socks.
Where did you find a Yankee with no brim?
It's a Yankee with no brim.
Yeah, no, the cat hat with no brim. Cat, no brim. If you want to see more of it, go see Pearls in the Way tonight. And if you look back,
Pearls of the Wave?
no, I'm in the sound booth. I'm behind it. So,
You're just looking for people to attack.
Yes! They had me there till midnight!
what do they do to you?
They dumped their laundry on me so they don't have to do it. I was there until midnight and I stared.
No, that sounds like a good partner.
Costume shop.
Yeah, I don't have anything to do
No,
with
because Pearls of the Wave
costumes.
is a theater shop, so they don't have.
So you'll be able to.
And they're like, we only do ourselves. And I'm like, let's do our laundry.
Well, I have had nothing to do with that.
I know, I'm just looking for someone to sleep.
I mean, not during the challenge.
Well, no, but we still have.
Was it like, do you work at the costume shop?
Yeah, I
Still
was
3 minutes
official show. And then I finished at like 10, and then Pearls of the Wave came in, and they're like, do your laundry. And I was like,
No thanks.
That was probably
Cassidy, when
Julie
you
after
said that, I
Olivia.
kind of contemplated going
I
there.
think they're both pretty chill. So
But I was also like,
well, I don't know what Juliet
I might be selfish and just not do that.
describe the.
Also, Rachel, I love the dress.
Thank you. We were all rainbow. I think we were rainbow order except for the Duncan and yellow and green switch.
I didn't know we were gonna have assigned seats, so
We didn't know we were gonna have assigned seats.
yeah, you guys could have told us that. Honestly, that's on you guys.
don't put things on us.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we're the hosts. We do nothing.
Um,
We're blameless in all aspects.
what? It's always hard to get to the most comfortable spot.
We usually sit in the chair.
This is correct. Wait, is this not correctly? Okay, wait. Are you two wearing the same colored shirt? The sunglasses make it hard to tell, but it completes the outfit.
We're all purple.
Oh,
Or the host
okay.
color. Or host purple.
So that's why, no, that just makes it kind of awkward. Maybe you should have told me that ahead of time.
It's okay, bestie.
Is that Riley?
Hi,
Is
Riley.
that prescription sunglasses?
Welcome to Final Tribal Round. Hi.
Oh shoot, I gotta text my parents.
Susanna, Micah sent me the playlist.
Oh.
Would you like to see? I can talk.
I'll have to sit next to Evan, and he's gonna be bothering me the whole time. Why couldn't you guys have waited on voting out Evan? He's like, I have to interview him now. Could have got to I don't know, like Isabel or Duncan or Ricky. This is what pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to check where
Yeah, but like if people voted them out more strategically, so that way it'd be like more to my vote.
There it is. 2 o'clock.
That's all.
Oh, well, I have a halo behind my head. Look at the camera.
Diana's running to get food because they haven't eaten yet.
Welcome, Evan.
Yeah! Highly approved by Evan.
Welcome to final tribal council.
We really
Your seat as juror number 2 will be right here.
every theater major to be in.
We really did.
Or every should be.
I feel like we should advertise.
Yeah, juror number 2 will be right here. So I'm going in number order. You have to do it.
Is it me? Am I the drama?
The entirety of this cast is just like, am I the drama?
Yes! Give me some incredible. I fucking love vibrant.
Mason, I want to apologize. I was going to play Megalovania on my trombone, but I don't remember the notes.
I thought it was going to be really late, but I'll be completely quiet.
It's really fucking hot in this thing.
I believe it. You can take it off.
If I'm nothing else, I'm consistent.
Evan, I took off my jacket for the first time in a very long time. You can
Alexandra!
Alexandra!
Yeah, she's with the spin of the woman.
Alexandra! We love you!
It's too dark. You can't see the cat on my hat.
Okay.
Oh my god, there's a cat!
No, yeah,
Dude!
cat. I have a cat's name. See? Socks, purple cat. That's why I'm not
Hey,
wearing
it's
shoes.
Margaret! Huge Margaret fan. Are you just going to be present on voice for now?
Yeah, you can turn on the camera once I call folks in.
Yeah, that's
That
okay.
works.
Okay, sweet.
We got all the colors of the rainbow here.
Okay,
Pink,
so
orange, black, and
right now we've got
I'm like purple, but like splash of purple. Because apparently they also decided to wear purple after I say I'm wearing purple. So
We decided we were wearing purple, like.
it's okay. No, it's okay. I already have a fan club. It's not like it's a big deal if you're a part of it.
I think it's more of a you're a fan of the host.
Yeah.
No, Wim has had a fan club for a really long time.
Let's see. I think it all started when I rocked the safety pin necklace. The safety pin necklace was almost one of my fun facts, but it's not relevant enough currently.
I'm excited to see everyone's fun facts.
I'm not. I don't like fun facts. I only like unpleasant, miserable facts.
My first fun fact is I hate fun facts.
Well, now that one comes up.
You're not supposed to say what your fun facts are.
Okay. Well, yeah, but it doesn't matter if y'all know.
Huh?
well, yeah, but Margaret's probably listening to everyone.
But that is true. Sorry, Margaret, we didn't hear that.
Okay,
She probably didn't, honestly.
so
I heard nothing.
There you go. Okay.
Duncan will be a bit late. One of his groups scheduled something last minute. It's like a class thing, which is annoying. Does anyone know?
Hello, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah, Sean!
Isabel should be here on Zoom, or like on the call. Yeah, on the Discord call. Shortly.
I don't actually know when my dress rehearsal starts, so I should probably look that up.
I gotta like after this. I gotta go. I was gonna like.
Cassidy and Izzi, what are you doing? Get out of here! Get out of here!
Look, Brian.
Fuck out.
Get out of here!
Fuck out. Get in here.
We want to be on the screen.
Don't tell them to get in here. That's
We heard
They're
you.
fully smart. They're back there.
I have a
They're
question for
back
Sean.
there.
Sean,
Stop being.
okay.
what
Sean.
does
Treasure
NEXD5
of
mean?
Outlook.
Cassidy, could you do me a favor and just like bother the heck out of Ricky?
Okay, I can't hear you. I'm picking up.
Dude, I love Ricky.
Can
Can I share an awesome? Can I share an iconic
My
Ricky
dear, you
moment?
just gave me so much power.
I know.
I'm gonna share an. Can I share an iconic Ricky moment? The way that I met him. It was this. This doesn't have anything to do with people who are still in the game.
Okay.
Basically, this was during the egg hunt or the.
Oh,
the balloon.
dude.
Yeah, you know.
Stan Robert.
I think we had we had the balloon with like Izzi or something. I don't know. No, we had it with us.
Yeah.
And he came up to us and he was like, "Hey, have you seen Izzi? I'm looking for Izzi." And they're like, "Oh, Izzi went that way." And then like Evan is like, who are you with?
You?
Yeah, there's someone else there.
Rachel. There.
Was that at the booth?
Yeah.
Was the fake name?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fake name. And then like he's like, "Yeah, Izzi went that way," because he was looking for the balloon. And you're like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Bob." And then they're like, who is Bob? And I'm like, that's obviously a fake name. No one is named Bob.
No, he said Robert and then Bob.
No, he said Bob and then he said Robert.
He said Robert
He
and
said
then
my name's
Bob.
Robert, but I go by Bob or something.
No, I'm pretty sure I remember correctly.
Okay. Regardless, let's thank you all so much for coming out to the finale of Denison Survivor Season 2 Electric Boogaloo. So, Cassie and Izzy, I think y'all can hear me. If you all can prepare to come down the left and right aisles respectively, and y'all can choose who's what when it's time. And then Margaret, you're going to join us shortly, up here shortly.
The fucking Roman.
So, all right, Castaways, come on in.
I respect the ramen so hard.
The ramen.
That is my comment.
I don't know if you can see me. I don't think you can.
You can see me, like my back.
Well, that's what's important.
My back?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Hey, where's Jake?
Wait, where's Jake?
Where is Jake, honestly?
We made him the coolest one, and he's not even.
Okay.
Actually, let me just. I was home. I guess for a second. Hi, Margaret.
Okay.
Hi, Margaret.
So,
The snowball. It's okay.
Hey guys.
Yeah, Noah's talking. I'll put it here. I get it.
now that we are here, we have one final immunity challenge for the three of you.
Whoa!
So, Margaret, if you could pull out your packet, please.
My what?
The packet I put in front of your door.
Yep.
And
It's
then,
right here.
There you go, Izzy. There you go, Cassidy.
Oh my god, squad?
And then, if I could please get 4 spectator or production volunteers. Yeah, Peyton, come down. That hand.
Maggie and Sarah.
Yeah, Maggie and Sarah. And Zoe. If I can get the 4 of you to please come on down. Thank you. So, please come down and line up right here. Okay, so right now, 4 of our jurors are running late. So we're gonna choose which of them looks the most like Isabel, Alec, Duncan, and Ricky to stand in and represent them.
Okay. I'm gonna say Alec, Maggie.
Maggie giving some Alec energy. All right, that's juror. That's juror number 3. Go ahead and sit next to Alec. Go ahead and sit next to
Are you
Alec.
on the duty? He's on the duty, right?
Yeah, he's right before me.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
they're the
now
same
who gives the most Duncan energy?
Hayden.
Go ahead and sit next to her as well. All right.
That's probably
Then between the two, our final 2 last season, who's got the more Isabel energy? Who's got the more Ricky energy?
Big Rick energy.
All right. So go ahead and sit there.
Right in
Yeah,
front of
you're
her.
next to Maggie. You're next to Hayden.
All right, perfect.
No jurors?
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and send. So in the production chat, I'm putting the correct answers so you'll know what your people said. So if y'all can each have that pulled up so you know what the stuff is. Okay.
There was a fucking hour.
That was
So-
don't worry about it. Song.
This immunity challenge is called Fallen Comrades. And the way
Yes.
Survivor has 3 pillars to it: the strategic, the physical, and the social. This will test your social game. How well do you truly know the jurors? Also, Alec is here, so Maggie, you can go back to your seat. Everyone give Maggie a round of applause. So, Alec, you're going to sit right next to Evan up here.
Your shirt says blue on it too. Holy shit.
Yo.
Let's go.
Well, let's go on. We're back. Let's move on.
Okay, so the way that this challenge works is that I will list a fun fact It was given to me by one of these 8 jurors. You have to. I will read it exactly as they gave it to me. So you can use whatever context clues you want, whether that's their writing style. Would this juror choose to submit this fact? Any of that information is yours. I will give you 5 seconds to make your choice and get their profile picture, or like their picture in front of you. And then I will say reveal. You all will turn your selection at the audience as to who you thought it was, and then the respective juror will stand. So you'll see whether or not you were right. The first castaway to meet these 2 conditions will win immunity and have a guaranteed spot in the final 2. Those 2 conditions are having a minimum of 10 points and being 2 points ahead from the next closest castaway. So, for example, if you get to 10, but someone else is at 9, you have to kind of keep going so that you're like far. It's like volleyball. It's always a juice. So, if we could please, yes, and if Scoos, if you could get the right points, or Mason, if you get points, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, I have to tech guy.
Yeah, thank you. So if you could put up the names of the castaways. Yes, please.
Do we have to do anything?
So if I say your fact, after they raise the faces of their guesses, I'll say, would the correct juror please stand up?
I gotta remember.
So, yeah, you can pull up your confessional if you don't remember. They're all in your confessional.
I can't reach in my pocket right now.
I'm just gonna hope I remember. Like if it sounds like me, I'll just stand.
I'm Duncan.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
We love that. Okay.
Duncan's
So we've got yeah. Okay. So is anyone not ready to get going? Margaret, do you have your sheets? Okay, sweet.
Cassidy, that's me.
That is you.
Yes. Do I get a point?
All right. So which juror would say? I never learned how to operate a TV until I was a teenager. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reveal. What are our guesses? We got Evan, Isabel. With the correct juror, please stand.
You have no faith in me.
Liam.
Would you like to explain yourself?
I just watch YouTube.
No, I just watch YouTube, you know?
Fair enough.
Guys, Minecraft.
YouTube!
Learn all my trick words from there.
Guys, subscribe to Liam's YouTube channel. He has orangutan sentences in there.
I watched one of your
That's
YouTube
not a
videos.
lie.
Okay. For our next clue, which juror would say, I am a certified archery and climbing instructor? Ready? Reveal. Let's see, you've got Alec. Will the correct juror please stand up?
I am a certified archery and climbing instructor.
Our
We really
next,
do be climbing though.
you really do. Our next fun fact.
True.
Well, I'm using it too.
And we'll be here for a while.
Yeah.
It's just like the music station.
Our next fun fact. I chipped a tooth. I chipped my tooth in 4th grade. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Duncan. What was that? Rachel. Abby. Could the correct juror please stand up?
Abby!
That's a point for Margaret.
I ran into the brick wall in gym class.
Fuck yeah!
Whoa!
All right, our next. Which juror would say, I have a cute micro-bully named Hazel? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Isabel, Duncan, Ricky. Will the correct juror please stand?
Isabel! So
That's
my
a
name
point.
is Isabel.
I take
not Isabel, but okay.
I got it.
Doesn't have a cute microbully named Hazel.
Alright.
It's a microbully.
I would assume like a little dog, right?
Oh, bulldog.
Isabel will be like, you didn't.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. Alright, next up, I have broken 10 bones.
That's more than this.
5,
That's a
4. Yeah, give me like 3. 2, 1.
I don't have them.
Alright, Evan, Rachel, Alec. Will the correct juror please stand up?
He literally just said.
I don't have bones.
Oh, it's Ricky.
It's Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky!
I
definitely said Ricky.
Ricky does in fact not have bones.
I've never broke a bone in my life. I float.
You sleep like one of those pieces.
So this is one you might have to use some context clues for. Who do you think would submit this answer? I'm an artist. 5, 4,
It's easy.
3, 2, 1. Reveal? Will the correct juror please stand up?
Okay.
Get fucked!
Definitely not Sarah.
Get fucked. Honestly, from artists everywhere.
Alright, next up.
Get trolled.
Which juror would say, I once got an award for liking tea? Like, I drank so much tea, I got an award for it.
What?
5, 4, 3,
British award.
2, 1. Reveal?
We don't call that.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel. Stand.
Yeah, British!
Yeah!
I don't have any problems.
Yeah. Alright.
You know when you can really
Next up, I dressed up as Waldo for Halloween in 6th grade. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal? Evan, Duncan. Would the correct juror please stand up?
You know how hard it is to stand in a fucking robe?
Take the robe off me.
No! It's my robe! I did that.
Look at how I'm.
Yeah!
Guys, we found
That's a twist.
I'm just intimidated.
Alright, next up. 2 famous or infamous meals I have prepared are rainwater soup and nutmeg soup. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal? Let's see, we got Liam, Duncan. Correct juror, please stand up.
Real big soup.
Good soup.
Alright, so rainwater soup came first. That was actually pretty chill. I was just making chicken noodle soup on a stove or a grill outside.
Was there rainwater that fell in it?
It was raining, and I dubbed it rainwater soup, and I added a little bit of zest, a little bit to the pH bubble. Yeah, pH bubble. Now, nutmeg soup, that has a bit more lore to it. Basically, we found this recipe for banana soup, and we thought it was really funny. So during our summer trip, I thought I would make it. Now the problem is, I asked for a little bit of. Who the hell is that? Well, I can't do math. I'm not a mathematician, so I put in 48 times the recommended amount of nutmeg into it. And thus it became nutmeg soup. And I have not been able to live it down. So yeah.
Which castaway? Which juror would say, I helped my friend start a nonprofit organization? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Alec, Rachel, Isabel, stand please.
Yeah!
And that's a point to Cassidy.
I'm the only one who
So, story of how that went. Our 8th grade history teacher accused my friend of embezzling funds.
Holy shit. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
I've never had a
Of course
doesn't need to know.
Oh, trust
I've
me.
never been more proud.
I know all about it. As the treasurer.
There are no criminal activities occurring in this room currently.
Not currently.
I'm paying taxes right now.
Are
Do your taxes.
Cassidy, they can still change their vote.
This is brought to you by Justice Survivor. Do your fucking taxes.
our next juror, who would say, I had a month growing up where I didn't drink any water, just seltzer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Rachel, Ricky, Evan.
What the fuck?
Correct juror, please stand.
Oh wow!
Alright, that's 1 point to Izzy.
What are you taking me for?
She cannot deal with normal water.
It tasted bad, and then we replaced the water filter, and I started drinking water again.
Alright,
You really got Kermit's water like the last movie.
here's our next one.
Get a Brita filter.
I almost cut my finger off once, I think. Yeah, I almost cut my finger off once.
Just once.
Just the once. 5, 4, 3,
It's not me because I got it 4 times.
1. Go.
Too late. Too late.
Okay.
Would the correct Cassidy please stand up?
Duncan!
My name's Duncan.
That's no one.
Alright, that happened to me also, but like, you're right.
Next up.
I literally just have a band on my finger still.
Next up. Who would say, I cheat in Wordle, don't ask?
Oh shit.
5,
Riley.
4,
I was not a jury member, Cassidy.
Riley.
2, 1. Go.
Abby,
Abby, Duncan.
Whoa! Okay.
Whoa. Okay, those are some heavy accusations. Please stand, correct Castaways.
You lucky there's a student.
Okay.
Ricky.
It's
I can explain.
That's no point for everyone.
You lucky there's a student away. You lucky there's a student away.
I'm not actually speaking.
You lucky.
Looking up
Or else
before
I-
after I get like 3 wrong, just to make sure I'm on the right track. It's improving my English.
Okay.
Wrong. Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah,
Alright. Our next fun fact. I based my entire personality around Fancy Nancy as a child. 5,
Damn well should.
4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Abby, Rachel, Abby, please stand.
I mean, look at the answer.
If you can't tell by the everything about me, that should have been the most obvious fucking question.
You guys have Rachel, right? Okay, so it's the 2 of them.
You can't tell by the everything about me.
Alright.
What I say like I was based on
Base their entire personality around Fancy Nancy.
Oh, yeah, that's close.
Next up.
Duncan!
Base,
Don't cheat on
awesome, fuck yeah. Huge absurd.
Next up.
I thought that was an acronym.
One time, I shot myself in the finger with a staple gun.
Oh
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alec, Ricky, Duncan, please stand.
He works in the machine shop for loves.
That's actually true. Didn't include that in the notes. I just didn't read it so it would make it obvious. Like, that's true.
What was the full one?
He almost got his finger off, and then he stapled the same finger with a staple gun later.
I actually knew that about him. I had his little friends. I should have.
I'm like his little
Unfair.
friend.
Really? Not.
That's a good
All right.
Like almost every male juror.
That poor finger.
For the guesses of this one. This what?
Yeah, I mean, I literally have a.
Alright, moving on.
Next up,
I'm kind of mad.
I drank an entire plastic water bottle in 8 seconds once. Christ.
It's so easy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Rachel,
Everything
Evan.
is liquid related.
Disappointed.
For the record, I was 6.
Okay.
One Cassidy.
Duncan can
Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! Fuck
You
yeah!
go out.
Why did you go to your
Why don't you everything that?
Well-
I mean, you seem like a normal guest because I don't get Rachel's sense of ritual.
Oh my goodness, the biggest.
All of Rachel's fun facts have to do with some sort of ritual.
So true.
Alright.
I got you. Please vote for me. Anyway.
I feel like Margaret's default is Duncan if she doesn't know.
Next up,
To me.
I used to have a fear of circles. 5,
I mean, I'm a mathematician.
Four.
That's pretty valid.
3, 2, 1. Go. Evan, Liam, Rachel. Please stand.
I had a fear of infinities, they were too loud.
So
Jokes
true.
on you, Cassidy. I love circles.
So that's just for.
Hello, Izzy.
Okay,
Get out of here. Get out of here. That was not
Alright, Cassidy, for you right dead center.
Hey!
Ricky, I'm so sorry for spamming you.
No, I literally, you know the funniest part? I woke up 18 minutes ago.
Hey, so that's the green
What am I
bell. So that's the green bell.
Alright, so basically what's happening is Noah's gonna say facts, and if it's your
If
fact,
it's your fact, then you stand up after we, because we're
It's pretty
guessing the facts.
self-explanatory.
And, I have a microphone now. Hi, everybody.
You lost microphone privileges.
Our next juror. I enjoy running long distances. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Alec. Please stand.
I'm not a psycho.
I'm sure I don't hate it at all, because I'm Isabel.
Yeah, Isabel! That's points for Noah. Next up, we've got I can't spell.
did they spell that right?
They did spell that right.
Okay,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Ricky.
Fuck yeah!
Lessons on my balls, okay?
The Wordle! We already have the Wordle.
Real explanation for that one is I had to prove that I was better than someone and I didn't care for the game. So incognito was the way.
That's fair.
Alright, next up.
It's okay, Mason.
I respect it.
I was the president of my high school's GSA. 5,
If you don't know what GSA is, it's Gay Straight Alliance.
3, 2, 1. Reveal. Abby.
Am I that goddamn predictable?
Yes.
It was the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
High school doesn't have one.
That's points for everyone.
Yeah,
I'm about to be
fucking
president of the Christian.
Okay.
Straight Alliance.
So, just to draw everyone's attention to the scores, Cassidy is at 9, Izzy's at 6, Margaret's at 8. That means that if Cassidy gets one more point that Margaret does not get, she will win immunity and have a guaranteed spot in the final 2. No pressure, Margaret. Number.
It's okay, Margaret. I don't really care. I'm just kidding. I care somehow.
Alright, our next clue.
You should do a me thing.
Our next clue is my family's cat almost died twice, but had a miraculous recovery. 5,
Like
Jesus cat?
4,
Yeah. Makes me
3,
really make the same joke. Horrible.
2, 1. Reveal. Duncan, Rachel, Duncan, please stand.
I'm literally the dude wearing the fucking cat outfit.
What the? You guys are fucking idiots.
I'm literally wearing a cat hat.
I cannot see shit. I was gonna guess you, but you always say my brother's cat. You always say your brother's cat.
Yeah, you got tricked there.
I did,
My family was
yes.
on caring for it.
I did, but like in my defense.
No, he got like paralysis or something like seizures like a few times as a kitten, and it was pretty sad. And the night, like it was the night before that morning, like he was gonna be put down because of how bad he was. My mom had him in a box, just like on her bed. The morning, and then the morning after, he was like completely fine and was bouncing about. And now he's a fat teenager cat.
Just like me, except I'm 21.
What? Yeah, that's my dad right there, actually. It's from the SpongeBob episode where he has the magic pencil.
So true.
Again, normally he says my
All right. Our next quote. I genuinely believe that a supernatural entity burned my porch down because I did not want to be on a day trip with my family. It's a long story, but I got my wish.
I mean, that's a fucking
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reveal. Evan.
He tells this story way too much.
I really don't like my dad's side of the family. And there was like a day trip like 2 hours from our house at a lake, and I don't like jet skiing either. And I was like, I just really want to go home. And then my mom got a call from our neighbor that our porch burned down. So I got to go home.
Can't have shit. And where are you from?
I'm from Parma, Ohio.
Shit in Parma, Ohio. Honestly, not your fault for living in that part of Ohio.
Okay.
Everything is Ohio's fault.
Yeah, no shit. It's back to Ohio.
Next up. I'm a really good cook. 5, 4, 3, 2. What?
No,
you have to be over by 2.
I mean, yeah.
All right, reveal.
Silly Mason.
Isabel, Liam, Rachel, please stand. And now it's
Good
time.
at cooking.
It wasn't made for us. I appreciate it.
Cassie
Izzy, I
has just pulled
appreciate
ahead by 2.
Can you cook?
What? Yes. Yes. Go through it. Cassidy has just pulled ahead by 2 points, which means that Cassidy now wins the final individual immunity.
Congratulations, Cassidy.
Congrats, Cassidy.
Has a guaranteed spot in our top 2.
Here we go.
Which means now it's time. All right, Castaways, come on in. Yeah, you are familiar. Welcome to Tribal Council 19. Cassidy won individual immunity, which means that the 2 of you are at risk of going home. Now, please state your cases as to why you believe you should stay in the competition. If you have any arguments for the whole tribe here, put them here. And you have until, I don't know, you feel like it, like, please go quickly to put your votes on parchment. Rachel, or Margaret, is going to check your packet. It's in there. You should have a parchment in there. So, if each person wants to share their...
Give them a bit of brainstorm.
Yeah, give them a minute to brainstorm.
Let them stew around.
We'll give them until 2:35.
Well, no, because they have to state their cases to
exactly.
Yeah, so they're thinking about it. That's the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
What the fuck, Cassidy?
Nobody except me is really, really good at talking about thinking, so that's what I'm here.
Well, watch the clock and cut them off at 35. What time is it?
So, if you all could, when you're ready, let us know when you're ready. We'll be ready.
Mason, are you dressed like Purple Guy?
Ow.
Dude, that's William Afton. That's what I'm saying. Dude, it's William Afton. No.
My safe word's caching, though.
I'm still in the car yesterday.
Yes, we got that.
And I forgot to mention before that.
Are we gonna do argument before I go?
Yep.
Yeah, we're giving you
Okay.
Yeah, once you're ready to get your argument, either just unmute and start talking, Margaret, or go to the microphone. Yep.
Yeah, we're in the backseat does not have the seatbelts in.
I can't see you guys, but I know.
Yes. Like just 3 notes and see how the people erupt.
He's gotta leave soon at some point because he has work.
I like the sunglasses better.
The lady was like, this guy didn't run 2 red lights. Journey.
Okay, you gotta come back and
I'm
find
only
the
here
vote,
like
though.
the suited.
Hey, if he gotta pee, he gotta pee.
Yeah, I guess you can leave, but just make sure you do better when driving tonight. I don't know, like, thank you, officer. But not the one in our first floor. He's as long as
Okay, it is 2:35. Margaret, Izzy, whenever y'all are ready, Izzy, you can come up to the mic. Margaret, you can unmute if y'all are ready to give your arguments. Why should you be saved? One of y'all gotta talk.
So we me first.
Hi, Izzy.
Hi. Love you.
Me too.
Okay, I think the reason that I should be saved is because obviously, if you've been following the season, there was a period of time after the team swapped that it seemed like Cassidy and I were not going to, I guess, continue our alliance. But then we did a switcheroo after the merge and voted Liam out. And so we are, in fact, the drama couple of the season, and who doesn't want to see that go to Final 2? Thank you.
Margaret, it's your turn. Please don't die.
Thank you. I wrote a speech, so
Oh, good.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna take a hot second. Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. I loved getting a chance to play with all of you, and I'm so glad that we've all been able to make it here today to celebrate this amazing season. I wrote it before I got sick. I started this season with the Funky Flamingos, and my strongest alliance being with the great Evan and Liam. Our plan was to get the strongest player out, Cassidy, immediately when we got to the merge. When the merge came, we were quickly thwarted, and Liam was out, and Evan had presumably given up. And I was left without my alliance. Even after I told Evan about Cassidy wanting to get Liam out, I was able to create an alliance with Cassidy. And the next few votes, most of the Flamingos got voted out. But I was able to stay because of my committed alliance with Cassidy. Through the last few votes, I had offers to make big moves in the game, such as Ricky's plan to get Izzy out in order to get more votes against Cassidy. Although these big plays make the game more interesting, they were in my self-interest, and my goal of the game was to stay for as long as possible, and I knew keeping my alliance with Cassidy would get me to the end. With my busy schedule of school, running a club, and being on a few exec boards, I wasn't always able to put Survivor first, but I still stayed as involved as I could and did my best in all the challenges, and I think you should let me stay.
All right, thank you, Margaret.
If you all could please write your votes down on your parchment.
Don't let it leak on the piano, please. Yeah.
Yeah, be careful. You go.
Very nice, Evan. We don't have Jeopardy music, but we do have like a little bit.
I can learn the Jeopardy theme really quick.
Or just play.
Just improv something.
Oh, that's just on the piano.
Jeopardy trombone.
Jeopardy trombone.
Should we do another
Throwback.
Jeopardy? I think we
Yeah, I was gonna
should.
say throwback to Cassidy's challenge.
What are you talking about?
Okay. Margaret, is your Margaret, are you done with your vote?
What'd you say?
Are you done writing?
I don't have a pen, but can I just say mine out loud?
Margaret, have you gotten your vote?
I don't have a pen. Can I just say it out loud?
Go for
Sure,
it.
yeah.
So wait. So,
Wait, I wonder who she's gonna vote for.
Yeah, it's like.
All right.
Self-vote.
All votes have now been submitted, and no idols can be. Yeah, no idols can be played. Well, because that's
I actually have 12 more.
That's the
Ass idol.
That's the thing you said. Okay. And no more.
Yeah, think about it.
And no more idols can be played. Once the votes are read, the decisions are final, and the person voted out will be asked to leave the island immediately. Vote 1. Margaret, go for it.
I
Izzy.
That's one vote, Izzy. Vote 2. Margaret. That's one vote, Izzy. One vote, Margaret. Now, vote 3 in our third place. Juror 9 is Margaret. So,
Good job, Margaret. Good job.
Yes, I can I said Margaret. I'm sorry, Morgan.
Margaret, that's 2 votes, and tonight that's enough. Please bring your torch to try to smoke it.
He put the torch in the packet too.
Okay, none of y'all have been able to bring your original torch. You never brought that up. Okay.
I had a speech ready the day I got voted off, and I just forgot about it.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
When do we get that?
Okay, everybody shut up.
We're fine.
No.
Are we fine? What's going on?
Okay. Now, without any further ado, we'll move on to our final tribal council. So, to introduce our final tribal council, we'll have each of our host team come up one by one to call everyone in.
Alright, Castaways, come get y'all juice. Okay, unfortunate. You.
Where's the juice?
I will have my
Wait, you actually have to. You actually have to use they're really heavy. Don't.
Anyway, so it has been an absolute pleasure being the cool host. I have very much so enjoyed. No, I very much so enjoyed being a host for all of you psychotic motherfuckers. It has been a delight watching the chaos. It has been a delight hearing the chaos. I am so excited to possibly be involved with future seasons and see y'all maybe possibly being part of future seasons as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Alright, Castaways, off we go!
Yeah!
It has been delightful to have you guys as a chaotic group of people and electric group and to hear these people as well.
Again.
I guess you could say it was the organized host this season. I don't know what you want to call it. And I really hope to see you guys back next season as spectators or as castaways or maybe on productions. I don't know.
Yeah! Yeah!
Castaways arise. Fucking go, baby. This whole thing was my idea. No. Shut up, I'm trying to talk. Anyways, so I would say that this entire experience has been a phenomenal time with all of you. But I would be lying if I said that. And while I've got the stage here, I would just like to say a few things. First of all, thank you so much for participating in this, putting effort into it, the involvement, and really kind of buying into this whole game is what makes it fun for everybody. So thank you for putting in that effort, thank you for putting in that time, thank you for holding up that picture of heaven. And above all, please fucking learn how to read instructions, please. I'm begging you. The lack of reading comprehension that you people have baffles me and causes me so much pain. Shut up, Izzy. I swear to God. If I counted the number of times that I had to deal with people not reading the fucking instructions in the goddamn game, I think I'd have fucking aneurysm. So, well, I don't have an aneurysm. I had a great time. Thank you. Hope to see you for the seasons.
Yeah!
Yeah, Alec!
Hi, Danny! Hi, neighbor.
Yeah!
I have got quite a happy follow. Thank you for that. I want to like thank you all for making this at all possible. Can't have Survivor without Castaways. That being said, you have all caused me immense psychic damage, and I will be making sure that the payback for each of you will be immense. That being
You
said,
are the star in my professional D&D campaign.
I said what I said, Evan.
I think you're the reason why.
Yeah,
I was mostly you.
regardless, you all have done an excellent job to earn your way into the jury or onto our final two. Margaret, please apply for host team. Keep the legacy of Juror 9 getting in going. I'm very lonely.
Glad you did it!
Hi.
You're Morgan.
Alright, Castaways, that's my line. Anyway, so this is fine, right? I've just been not sleeping and trying to do Anamatics with Cassidy. And it's not worked. No. Yes. That's all I have to say. Fine. Go to sleep!
Yeah. You got the actual show. Do you think he does it? Yeah, I do too. Like, I hope.
Dude, is that the Noah Weinberg of Denison University?
No, it can't. Dude. Someone go up there and touch him.
Hey, yeah, shut the fuck up.
Alright, Castaways. Come on in.
He said the line!
Thank you all so much for a wonderful season. But that season's not quite over yet.
So true.
We have one last thing for you all to participate in. And that's our final tribal council. Here we have Cassidy and Izzi. I'm not going to introduce them. You know them. They'll get a chance to introduce themselves and explain their merits. But by the time we leave Harry Hall today, the winner of season 2 will be determined. So Cassidy, as the winner of the final immunity, you get to choose. Who would you like to have make their opening speech first?
I'll have Izzy do it, yeah.
Wonderful. Then Izzy, once you're ready, please come up to the mic.
Yeah.
They have.
Okay, so I don't really know how to start this except to say that I love all of you and I really appreciate the game that you guys gave to me this semester. That being said, I think I'm very good with keeping my strategies close to myself. As we can see, honestly, I did not think I was going to get this far, but I'm very grateful that I did. Thank you, Cassidy, for your community title. And like the last time we were actually able to play them. I don't really know exactly what the speech is supposed to be because no one explained it to me, so.
Why should you win?
Potatoes. Yeah, for the most part, when we were still on teams, I really tried my best to make sure that we had a solid game plan whenever we actually did have a team challenge. And I think we came out of the gate strong when I was on the Brainiacs originally, and then when I switched to the Flamingos, I think there were definitely some challenges, but, you know, honestly, I did not take my ADHD meds today, and absolutely nothing is coming to mind at this moment. So, yeah.
DJ
Yeah!
That's a new one. I love it. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, I literally cannot think of anything else off the top of my head. So thank you.
Woo! I love all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Izzy. Now, Cassidy, if you could please come forward and tell the jury why they should vote for you to win.
They gave me a microphone. How scary for them. Okay.
Take it away from it.
Hopefully. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Cassidy. I hope you know me. If you don't, then I don't know what you're doing here. I think I should win because I've kind of done a lot this season. So I started off on the Brainiacs and I started pretty strong. I was off the gate being a high scorer in challenges. Even when my team lost, I still was like very high up in terms of scores. Like for example, in the bag tossing challenge, even though the Brainiacs lost, I still got the highest amount of bags, and I'm pretty sure like Cassidy, not me, did like the math of it, and like I got like way more bags, like a certain
It was
percentage.
terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was a lot of bags. Only a couple bombs too. But the bombs were scary. So it was definitely a big moment. Duncan!
Donut.
We love Duncan. Okay, anyway, back to me. I'm okay. Well, I'm not, but like, you know. Anyway, so from Duncan. You're good. Okay, so it's okay. You're just listening while you're gonna vote for me. And then we got to the swap, and which I won that challenge as well. And I actually found out later from my gal Margaret. I'm sorry, Margaret. That apparently people were trying to get me out even back then. I have had a very large target on my back for the entirety of this season, which that target is completely my fault. But yet I'm still here. Ain't it crazy? I can't believe it either. So then we got to the merge, and immediately I knew that there was a plan to get me out, and so I knew I either had to get Liam or Evan out because it was either one of them at the top of that plan. And so I got Liam out, and I do apologize for the way that ended up happening. Liam, that is my one regret in the game is how that happened. But I know that Izzi, yes, because I went and I talked to Izzi about it, and we talked through our issues, and I do think that that's a really strong move on my part of being able to get Izzi to our side. Was a really big thing. So yes, I definitely couldn't have done it without Izzi, but I think that my social game is what helped me do that. And then Evan did some weird things, and he got out. I don't know what happened there. You forgot your speech. You did forget your speech. Now I get my speech. And I was able to, I won 5 individual immunity challenges, 6 including this past one. I won the reward when it came to the cookie clicker challenge, and I won the Smash Tournament reward. I also got 2 hidden immunity idols. I found the ones that were hidden. I also got a fake idol in the auction, which I gave to Liam for him to trust me. And he ended up giving it back to me, and then I felt like a really bad person. But I still got it, and also Evan gave me some idol for some fucking reason, so I gave that to Margaret because it felt like dirty money, and I didn't want to touch it. But 6 immunity challenges that I won individually. Saying again, I think 2 reward challenges, maybe 3, but it was definitely at least 2. And I had good enough of a social game that every single vote that I voted in, I was behind. Like there was not a single vote that I wasn't on the same side as. Like I didn't vote for the person who was out. I organized most of the votes. I figured out the order that I wanted people to go out in. I organized a really strong final, and even when I found out that my final 3 had turned on me, Duncan and Ricky, I got them out. They were my final 3. Sorry, Izzi, they were. But then I changed it up because that's what Survivor is. You have to roll the punches and change things up. So I got them out, boom, boom, and then we had a no. Yep, sorry. I am sorry, but I had to do it the way I had to do it. And then we had a really great final 5, no men, the best. And it was really hard, figuring out who I could trust. And I realized, oh shit, I can trust everyone here. And then it really sucked when voting after that. But I stuck strong with Margaret and with Izzi, and I decided to go for this challenge. I said in my confessional at one point, I was like, I can flip a coin. I love both of these people so much. I could take either of them to the final 3 or the final 2. But I ended up going with Izzi because we started the game together, so we're gonna end it together too.
Thelma and Louise style.
Yes. And so I've said a lot, but basically I have done so much please vote for me, or else it was all for nothing. No, I'm kidding. Not really. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Cassidy. Now, each of our 9 jurors will get 5 minutes to influence their fellow jurors. During this time, you will come up to the podium. You can ask questions of our finalists. If we could please get a mic to them, one each would be lovely. Then you can ask questions to them. You can also just make a speech of your own. Those 5 minutes, you can do whatever you want with. If you desperately want to, you can bring your trombone. Yes, Ricky.
Can we get a 5-minute
Before we get, can we do a quick mic check on those 2 mics?
Hello.
You don't have to use the entire 5 minutes, but it's yours. All right.
Give us a trombone concert, Evan.
Little note, when you're speaking, please hold the microphone in front of you so the spectators can't hear when you turn your face away. So try to speak directly into the microphone. Thank you.
Sorry, spectator.
Thanks, Tyler. All right. So, without further ado, Juror 1, Liam, please go ahead and head forward. You have 5 minutes to speak however you like.
Sorry, my foot stopped.
Busting out a funky move.
Hello, is this audible?
Yeah.
I think as a thespian, what's most important to me in this game is not necessarily game, but it's how much you entertain people, specifically the spectators, because I think they're the people who are most important. So I'm curious how you think that you provided an entertaining game for the spectators. Let's start out with the first question. Do you want the first?
Yeah, sure. A lot of it was, a lot of the stuff in my confessional was mostly me not taking my ADHD meds and needing someplace to spill my inane bullshit. I think people were pretty entertained, especially when we were doing, when we were waiting for the vote to be announced that you got out. I kind of put in my confessional, am I the drama now? Because it was like a big switch that I was keeping under wraps with Cassidy. We were literally sitting on the couch at Crawford, like waiting for that vote to happen. So.
Cassidy, do you have?
Yeah, at the Jeopardy challenge, it was announced that I am the person who has sent the most messages in the server of both seasons. I've sent a lot of messages, mostly in my confessional. I talk a shit ton. Like every decision that I had and that I made, I literally would just talk through with myself in my confessional, so the spectators were able to see literally every thought that I had at all times, which is like, you know, kind of big brothery, but like I did it to myself, so I can't complain. And so I definitely made sure that I had a lot of spectator, people were able to kind of know what was going through my head the entirety of the game, whether it came to challenges or voting people off or trying to determine who I could trust with my allies. So I talked a lot, and it was a fun time. And I'll admit that I know sometimes it can get a little monotonous with me winning a lot of things, but I try to keep things interesting. Margaret and I definitely had some like plans to make things interesting. I miss you, Margaret. I'm so sorry. And also, I'm sorry, Liam. I'm sorry, everybody. But besides the point, I definitely kept the spectators entertained. Also, I had spectator challenges every once in a while. I won't elaborate.
Next is not a question, but an apology. Alec, I went along with the plan of Cassidy's to try and vote you out when I was being voted out. The main reason for that was this whole game, I didn't want to play with people I knew as much, and I saw that as a way that I might be able to get Evan out eventually, because I wanted to get Evan and Cassidy out quickly, so that way I felt I could actually play my own game. It wasn't against you. And I mean, I got my comeuppance, I got voted out, but no, it was pretty chill, and I hope you all like the horse skips. Spectator cat, yeah?
I really hated it.
Yeah.
I hated those fucking horses so much.
Play your trombone, Evan. Just play your trombone.
Nope, on your turn.
So, and then on the topic, I didn't realize that you ended up voting for me and Izzi in that regard. But I'm curious if you could elaborate more on your thoughts of like right after voting me out, or what decisions went into that.
I can go first. I did send you an apology because so I had arranged with all of the brainiacs at the time, as well as Izzi, to vote for Liam. We were originally going to vote for Evan, but we had to switch things up, so we voted for Liam. And I had talked to you in person about things, but you had not told me about the plan to vote me out. We were like, oh yeah, they're going to go for Ricky, and I'm like, they're not. So I thought that we were kind of on the same page of like, we're both kind of lying to each other right now, and like we're both duping each other, which is how Evan and I talk all the time. Evan would be like, yeah, we're going for Ricky, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. No, we're not.
Always Ricky.
Yeah, it's always Ricky. It's always Ricky. Sorry, Ricky.
Watch twist, Ricky wins.
Yeah, I wish. But yeah, so I thought that we were kind of going back, but then when you, me, and Riley were sitting in Slater and you were talking, I go, oh shit. I looked at Riley, I'm like, he thinks that we're actually voting for Alec right now. He actually, we aren't like duping each other right now. And then I'm like, oh, I feel terrible. But there was really nothing I could do at that point. Either I would have to tell all of my allies, oh, we're all going to switch to Alec, or I just had to let it go. So I just was like, I have to let it go. I did let an innocent man die, and I'm so fucking sorry.
There's your time. That your time is up on the next juror.
Wait, can I just, hey Duncan, if you want to hang out, just kind of
Great, Evan's turn.
Vote for me for cutest Castaway.
You already won.
Is your foot still asleep?
Oh, I love having my foot be asleep.
Somebody get this man a medic. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't think this precarious situation is going to help you. That's
all right, it's
Evan's
turn.
Play your trombone.
No. I don't have any I have one question, and that's what's Malcolm's question. Because it's really cool. Anyway, I don't have any questions ready at all, so I want to give a little speech.
Yeah!
So, I don't think it's a secret to anyone in this room that I had absolutely no intentions of winning this season at all. So, when push comes to shove and Liam gets voted out, it was pretty obvious that I'd be up next pretty soon, and I had no real way to defend myself. So I made a deal. And whether the intentions of that deal were true or not, Cassidy did follow through with that. And that was to make sure Izzi gets into the top 2 with her. Solely for the fact that I wanted Izzi to feel that joy of being able to make it to the final 2, and so that I can rip it away.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Cassidy.
What's up, Evan?
This is a speech. Let me finish. My vote's going to you.
Yeah.
No matter what the social game was, which we can't really see in the tribals, it is extraordinarily impressive to win literally every tribal immunity challenge.
I didn't win 2 of them.
Win almost every immunity challenge for the latter half of the entire game. And that's very commendable. Izzi, I'm mad at you. But more importantly, I want to end on one very important thing that I want to make sure this is my speech. There's one more very important thing that I think all of us need to know before we do our vote. And that's that today's tribal is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. One of the biggest mobile role-playing games in 2022, and it's totally free. Currently, almost 10 million users have joined Raid over the last 6 months, and it's one of the most impressive games in class with detailed models, environments, and smooth 60 frames per second animations. All the champions in the game can be customized with unique gear that changes their strategic buffs and abilities. The dungeon bosses have some ridiculous skills of their own, and figuring out the perfect party and strategy to overtake them is a lot of fun. Currently, with over 300,000 reviews, Raid is almost a perfect score on the Play Store. The community is growing fast, and the highly anticipated new faction, Wars feature, is now live.
Whoa!
Applause for that. It's live now.
Beautiful.
You might even find my squad out there in the arena. It's easier to start now than ever with the Raids program for new players to get you a new daily login reward for the first 90 days that you play the game. So what are you all waiting for? Go to the video link above and click on the special link, and you'll get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Good luck, and I will see all of you there. Trombone, give me the trombone.
True.
Alec, your turn.
Evan, I still want you to explain why you're mad at me.
Nope, next person.
That was really beautiful. Thank you, Evan. I miss you so much. And
He's right there.
fellow remaining castaways, first question. Whoever answers the quickest, bonus points. What were your reasons for joining Survivor in the first place?
I'm a killer, and I did that, like, last semester was really...
Cassidy already finished.
Well, shut up, I'm gonna talk anyway. I'm actually gonna talk.
Question.
Okay.
Both of you, please, plead your case for which host member could take on the most amount of small children in a fight and why.
Mason would absolutely
She's
fight.
softest in her heart. I am brutal and killing.
Yeah, see, Mason. Okay, maybe Mason.
I'm my first grade teacher.
Alright.
Definitely not Cassidy.
I would like to make an argument. Willing, able.
Yeah. Mason would absolutely destroy children. Scoo's not so much.
I feel bad for my nibblings.
Please stop.
I don't feel
You have to
bad.
face your okay, maybe they're like strangers. You need to fight them one day, Scoo's, one day.
Points for me.
Roast them like a rotisserie chicken.
Yen could destroy all of those small children from within, as he
This is Alec's speech.
Interesting, but I think that they would realize too quickly because there are just too many of them.
I don't think you understand Mason.
Maybe. Last question. Very interested to hear your responses on this one. Does Bruno Mars is gay?
I have no comment at this time. I've signed some papers. I really can't talk about those.
He in fact is gay. I did not sign those papers. He do in fact.
I have an NDA. I can't talk about it.
Oh, that's not for you.
Wait, he does
Jurors,
this.
I think the vote is clear. Thank you.
Yeah, Alec. Alright, Ricky.
Yeah, let's go, Ricky.
Hi, Ricky.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
How's the day going?
Pretty good. How's yours?
How's your day going?
It's going. How's yours?
I'm doing okay. I woke up like 18 minutes after this started.
Oh no, I know you told us.
That's okay.
Are you awake now?
Sleeping
Are you
in
feeling
game.
awake? Yes! I love this audio! Yeah!
Anyways, I don't get paid to speak, so I gotta do this fast. So at the end of the day, we're here to vote for who played the game the best, right? At the end of the day, that person has won many meetings, has proven game after game that they're going to be able to play the game to their part, right? And I don't have a third one, which won't stop me doing speeches, so I'm speaking now. So for that reason, I'm voting for myself too. The other thing I have to say is from the beginning of the game, ever since I did my rap, I said,
I'm always in second place.
Indubitably, exactly. That's exactly what I said.
Are you going to try to finish this out the same way?
Yes.
Okay.
So please, everybody, make sure it's not about who wins for me. It's about that it's
No, I don't want second place. I will find you.
So please do that for me. Also, production. Thank you. This has obviously been happening because of y'all, so we appreciate it. I think I speak for the.
Yes, we love you, production. We love you, host.
Yeah.
Long live the Code Master! Long live the Code Master!
Long live the Code Master!
Okay, now you're just copying me.
We love you too, Ricky.
Actually, wait, guys, before we go, I want to question. Did you bring Claudia? Fuck, I
Oh,
forgot.
that's a game changer.
I'm so sorry. I was in a rush.
Yes, it's my turn to speak. As a middle child, I really don't get to do that. So, I would also like to say, you're actually really, really cool. How do you do it?
It comes naturally.
Wow. Where'd you buy your clothes?
I don't buy them.
Oh.
Steal?
Yeah, well,
shoplifting?
I obtained them through questionable means.
Oh.
On Denison
Is that why campus always after you?
Yeah. They don't want me. They want me arrested.
You're wanted by the FBI.
This is Ricky's speech.
I know, but I wanted to talk to you. I normally don't get to do that. So, how's your day going?
It's made better by your presence.
Thank you. You have the,
This feels a little bit.
It's really,
This is a little bit homoerotic here, right now.
I'm not going to be here for the survivor. I'm just here for you. Me too. I mean,
hug.
You gotta be declining. Maybe I do. After this one,
True love on Denison campus. Do you have any declining for me?
Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's totally fine with me. I think that's probably around my main speech, so I'm gonna go. There you go.
True love on Denison campus. Do you have declining for me?
Yeah, Ricky!
Ricky is the winner of Survivor Season 2. Absolutely.
All right, Duncan, your turn.
Wait, is it really my turn?
Yeah, your turn. Go. Donut man. Donut
I have
man.
a question.
Okay.
Actually, tell me when I have 1 minute left. Okay. He's gonna do a flip.
I always do that. 1 minute to do the entire flip. Rotating. He's gonna do one. Oh, okay.
My fellow American.
Joe Biden.
407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived, so dedicated, can belong as Europe. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here have given their lives that a nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper.
This looks like a cult.
But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far beyond our poor power to add or subtract. The world will little know, no longer remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work, which they who have fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us. That from these honored dead, we can take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here are highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth. Additionally, I would like to thank the sponsor for Survivor, Audible. Audible is a traditional service audiobooks that you can listen to aren't free. Audible allows you to choose from a gigantic array of audiobooks narrated by amazing narrators. Right now, I'm listening to The Dead Zone by Stephen King, narrated by Oscar-winning actor James Franco. It's a chilling story of a high school teacher who falls into a coma and wakes up with psychic abilities. In all seriousness, guys, audiobooks are great for when you're alone, and maybe I should stop with the Survivor.
You still got 2.5 minutes.
How many minutes?
You still, okay, so you're at 2:25 right now.
Okay. No, I'm prepared. Okay.
I have a song I can play.
Okay. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, and members of
Oh
the
my
Senate.
fucking god.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941.
Oh my god.
A day to live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The United States was at peace with this nation, and at the station of Japan was still in conversation with its government and its emperor, looking forward to the maintenance of peace in the Pacific. Indeed, 1 hour after Japanese air squadrons had commenced bombing on the American island of Oahu, the Japanese ambassador to the United States and his colleague delivered to our Secretary of State a formal reply to a recent American message. Among this reply stated that it seemed useless to continue the existing diplomatic negotiations. It contained no threat or hint of war or armed attacks. It will be recorded that the distance of Hawaii from Japan makes it obvious that the attack was deliberately planned many days and even weeks ago. During that intervening time, the Japanese government has deliberately sought to deceive the United States with false statements and expressions of hope for peace. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused severe damage to American naval and military forces. I regret to tell you that many American lives have been lost. In addition, American ships have been reported torpedoed on the high seas between San Francisco and Honolulu.
That's 1 minute.
Should I continue? Okay, I don't know. I can get through this.
You were asked to please
You're all good. Continue.
Yesterday, the Japanese government also launched an attack
1 minute left.
against Malaysia. Last week, Japanese forces attacked Hong Kong. Last night, Japanese forces attacked Guam, Philippines, Wake Island, and this morning, the Japanese attacked Midway. Japan has therefore undertaken a surprise offensive extending throughout the Pacific area. The facts of yesterday and today speak for themselves. The people of the United States have already formed their opinions and well understand the implications for the very life and safety of our nation. As Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy, I have directed all measures to be taken for defense. But always will our whole nation remember the character of the onslaught against us. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people and their righteous might will win through to absolute victory. I believe I interpret the will of the Congress and of the people when I assert that we will not only defend ourselves to the uttermost, but will make it very certain that this foreign country will never again endanger us. Hostilities exist. There is no blinking of the fact that.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, I'm being silenced against my will.
Literally,
Duncan.
as a history major, you just won my heart. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Next up we got Isabel, Juror 7, no 6.
Where is she? Where is she? Get slow over here. I need Isabel. I am Isabel.
All right, Juror 7, Rachel.
Oh, here we go.
Hello, survivors. Hello, everybody. It was a pleasure to be here today. I have 2 questions. They're both at you.
Oh, hi.
You're about to be very targeted.
That's okay.
Apologies.
That's fine.
So my first question is, you said that originally you were planning on bringing Ricky and Duncan to Final 3.
Yeah.
Why would Ricky try to vote for Margaret?
He was actually trying to vote for me, not Margaret. He went and he talked to Margaret, and he told her, "Hey, okay, so let's try to get Cassidy up, and then you'll be able to stay in the game a little longer." And and then he said, "Okay, we go for Izzi, and then we go for Cassidy, and then we can and then you can stay in the game longer to Margaret." And Margaret told me, so then I was like, "Okay, bye." And then he went and he ran around knocked on everybody's doors, but then he ended up getting out anyway. He asked me for an idol at one point. I told him I would give him an idol. He never came for it though. I was gonna give him my fake idol though, so it's okay. it didn't end up happening, but all love everywhere. I voted. I tried to get everybody to vote him out because he was going to go for me and one of my biggest allies. Sorry, Ricky.
Sorry for running around with Phil and then voting you out. It just I got bored and I realized that voting for
Traitor.
voting against my world. I'm sorry. I also yeah. Okay.
No, she did not vote with you.
Margaret didn't vote with y'all.
No.
Margaret's shaking her head. I talked to you in person and when like the fire broke out. Sorry. I talked with a couple people, including Cassidy. I don't remember who else. The fire alarm went off, and I realized that Margaret was not voting with you. That was my one deciding factor in that. My other question is, I'm gonna turn this so I can face. I don't know how to.
That's all right. You don't have to make eye contact. I know mentally you are.
You can take the mic off the stand. Oh, that's so smart.
That was so much big brain.
That's why they pay more than the big bucks.
My second question for you is, I feel like after the merge, you had mainly controlled the voting. You were the main reason that I believe all of us are out right now. Why should I vote for you, knowing that you were the reason I was voted out?
It's a good question. Honestly, I think that if you want to vote for Izzi but Izzi kind of also voted with me the entire time. So I would say that like it's either like the person who spearheaded it or a person who went along with it. And personally, I would feel more comfortable voting with somebody who spearheaded it because it's more of like this person went and did what they wanted to do and played the game in the proper way. I did my best. I worked very hard to get to this final area, and I think that it's about, like Noah said at the beginning, the 3 pillars of strategic game, social game, and physical game, and I think that it's clear that with getting everybody out, I had all 3 of those because I was strategic in like the order of which people wanted to go out, and social, I kind of figured out who I could trust and like how long I wanted to keep people in and when I wanted them to go, and then obviously physical with being able to win immunity and not being able to be a person to be voted out for 6 if you include this tribal. So
thank you.
Sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna pull a Zoe and say that this is not my fault because it is, and I will take responsibility for that.
All right, personal responsibility. Juror Abby.
Respecting the fit. Okay. Now that I have this stage to speak to you all, I would like to first air some grievances.
Okay.
And this is largely just not so much due to like your strategic game or anything, but just kind of the way that you seem to be. You all seem to like an incredible inability to listen to people when they're talking and show respect. And I mean, like basically everyone sitting in front of me. And I find that incredibly annoying. And I would leave just about every physical challenge with an incredible headache and feeling demoralized and upset at the world. That being said, obviously I have to vote for someone, but I find you all, like, honestly incredibly annoying, deep within my soul, and your inability to listen to Noah when he is speaking, it makes me deeply, deeply angry. That being said, I have a question for the host team.
Yeah.
This is a blast from the goddamn past.
Okay.
The very first challenge, when I did not have a tribe and I was all on my own, I won a challenge and I was given a photo of a green rock.
Yes!
As my reward.
That was painful.
What the fuck was that? Because I forgot about it until like now.
Oh, the green rock.
The green rock was a conditional reward that was in case we had to roll for an elimination, in case we had a tie vote, in case we had to cast rocks. Cassidy also got a green rock for the same reason, so that if there was a tie vote, you could take your name out of the randomized field.
That was what the green rock was for. It was never used, but you had it in case there was a typo. I don't think I got one.
You didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you fully did.
What? That's a little bit useless.
No, you got rock, paper, scissors.
It wouldn't have been if there was a typo.
Last season,
Yeah, but what is the...
That fully happened.
there was a tie last season.
There was a tie last season. It was nuts.
That's how Madeline.
Anyway, so now I have that
Cassidy was
question.
running fully, and then Madeline got outran.
That's almost like my question being proven. Anyway, I've known for like a while that I'm gonna vote for Cassidy. There's absolutely nothing that would change my mind. Because I've seen her put in a lot of work, and it seems silly for someone to not win that has put in that much effort. So yeah, that's like kind of all that I intended on talking about. In conclusion, you will need to go back to 3rd grade and learn some reading comprehension skills and also listening skills. Actually, no, kindergarten. They teach that in kindergarten. So yeah, I also, that's all. And you know, I was almost wondering, like, I wonder if I go tonight, it'll like be better this time. Every time I hope. And then it is squandered immediately. So yeah, thank you all for listening to me. Be better. Thank you.
Margaret, you're good to go.
Margaret, it is now your turn. If you would like to say something, make her big, make her big.
Hello. Okay. While we're asking the host questions, can I ask what the dealer's deck was?
You are not very loud right now, hon. Hold on. Maybe you could like switch your microphone from your AirPods to your computer.
Yeah, I can do that.
We could just.
Just turn the music like.
Can you guys hear me better?
Hello. Try now. Try now.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, there we go.
Hi.
Okay. So, what was the dealer's deck for?
You don't have to be that close. Sorry, try again.
Oh, fuck.
Everyone was on. You can go ahead and say 3, 2, or 5 minutes on the floor if you have any questions for the remaining Castaways.
Okay, can anybody hear me?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Okay. So, Izzy.
Yeah. What's up?
Kind of picking back on like what Abby said, it seems pretty clear that Cassidy put in a ton of effort this season, and she was clearly a leader throughout. Why do you think you deserve to win over her?
Kind of going off of Rachel's point, had the floor a little bit too long, really. But honestly, I think I didn't come into this caring about who was going to win. I was here mostly for the social game. I just want to put that out there, really.
Okay, cool. And my question for Cassidy is, who do you think was your biggest threat throughout the game?
So obviously with right after the merge, I knew that Evan and Liam were going to be a big threat to me because I had suspicions that they wanted me out. And then it was confirmed by you. We've had this conversation plenty of times. Can I say something that's kind of mean just a little bit?
Do it. I said something mean.
Okay, it's true, it's true. Not like in a bad way. I don't think, I thought originally that Evan was going to be my biggest threat, and then he proved me very wrong by going full Viking funeral and deciding to give up in like a very silly way and giving me all of his advantages. I don't want anybody to think that my game is Evan's game because he gave me, he gave me an idol, which I gave to Margaret because Margaret, you deserve that idol. You're the one who was like with him in the trenches looking for idols and was his ally for weeks and weeks. And then he was like, oh, I guess I'm going to give it to Cassidy. And it was like, I know that he and I are friends, but like, come on, man. And so, I again, like I said earlier, dirty money, didn't want to touch it. I thought it was kind of silly that Evan decided to do all that. I thought that he was going to be my biggest threat with the game, but then he was not. There were many times when I thought of maybe just keeping an Evan to keep things interesting, because the whole rivalry, me versus Evan, pretending like we're allies but we're not allies, haha, was kind of fun. But with the giving up, it was.
Hi, by the way, the audio stopped out of nowhere.
Oh, okay. I'll just give you a TLDR.
I can't hear anything.
Oh, can she not hear me at all? Oh no, I miss her. Tell her I miss her.
Sometimes I can still hear her voice.
Can you hear me?
Oh, it's back.
Okay, thank God. Sorry, I missed you, Margaret. I don't know how much you heard. Yeah, literally. I don't know how much you heard of that, but basically I was saying that I thought Evan was going to be my biggest threat, but then because he gave up, he wasn't.
Awesome. All right, that's all I got, people.
I love you, Margaret. Oh, she hung up. She hung up. She left the call. Oh, she's back. She's back. We're good. We missed you so much, Margaret. Oh, is this highlights reel? Is this the highlights reel?
No.
This is the Codemaster. This is the Codemaster.
All right.
They're
I
not
love
being
you, Codemaster.
Now that all of our jurors have spoken, it's time for final closing remarks. So we will go in the same order. Izzy, then Cassidy. You all have, like, we won't tell you, but, like, you know, aim for not crazy long, for your closing remarks, trying to cinch the final votes as to why the jury should vote for you. And
We'll take the microphones back.
Yeah, so as I just said, I mainly came into Survivor for like a good social game, and again, I love all of you for providing me with that. I feel like I have played a fairly strong game. Like Margaret, there were times where I could not put Survivor first, either because of school or because of some like mental issue that I needed to take care of. But overall, I do feel like I have played a very strong game, and I'm very glad to be in the final two with my co-conspirator, Cassidy. I would appreciate winning Survivor very much, but honestly, it's more about the community for me rather than the win, but I would appreciate winning.
Margaret, can you mute? I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah. Can you mute?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Okay, love you. Okay. Speaking of loving people, I love all of you. Yay, but that's not why you should vote for me. It's just a bonus. I have really appreciated playing this game. I believe I played a very strong game. As I said before, I've won 6 community challenges, multiple rewards, 2 idols, and part 13 the treasure. So I believe that because I have this very strong game, and I've also forged really strong relationships. Like I thought for sure, like Final 5 when St. Marco came and did her whole thing, and then we didn't have a community challenge. I was like, oh, I'm gone. And then I wasn't gone. I'm like, holy shit, I'm not gone. That was crazy to me. I thought that would be my moment, and it honestly on paper should have been. But I have forged really strong relationships in this game with the vast majority of you, and I appreciate the fun that we've all had together. And I believe that you should vote for me. It would be kind of cool.
And with that, we now move into our vote. So,
I'm gonna go for you.
You should.
Vote for each other.
yeah, if you could like search wildly for the trophies, because they're not here, but we're gonna go
Here's
ahead.
one.
Thank you.
We also have my social.
Yeah.
We will pass these
2
out.
of them. Yeah.
We vote for the winner.
Yes. Please nominate the person you want to win. Not
Cassidy's getting more pens.
Other casting now. I'm saying.
No, are you gonna lock them in the room?
What?
Are you gonna lock them in the room?
Are you gonna walk us out now? while they decide.
Oh, this is a disaster.
Thanks for not locking me out. I have 3
We can
more.
walk out, or we can close our eyes.
Yeah, go ahead and walk out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, love you. Bye. Bye.
Go ahead and
I don't even know.
write down the name of the person you want to win to hit me. Margaret? Margaret, can you?
Yeah.
Margaret, can you hear me all right? Can you put a thumbs up? Can you hear me? Okay. If you could please direct message me, don't put your professional, direct message me if you would like to win this season, and I will write it down on your parchment for you.
You're voting for the person to win. Like the name you write down is gonna win.
It's just Cassidy and Izzi, right? I'm gonna move them on. Duncan, is that how you spell your name?
When somebody is done with a writing utensil, I need one.
That's the way it doesn't work.
Like pens?
Oh, Liam.
Yes, please.
Oh, he was over. There's no rush. No rush?
I voted for like
Yeah, if I can.
I wanted to close it with everything. What did we learn from this? It's not about the wins, it's about friendship. No, it's
Real
about
winners are the friends you made along the way.
No, it's about who wins.
It's all about today and I regret.
Have me and movie choose it yet?
There's a turning spot.
I just give it to me.
Yeah.
I would go. I'm always on the phone. Do you know any songs?
Pizza time.
Oh, I told Alec yesterday. Got on the cards, but the only issue is the people behind us.
Alright, I think I'm missing 2 still.
Just one moment.
Oh, wow. Evan is running a speech.
I still have a Sharpie if anyone needs.
You realize you're only reading out the name.
Yes.
4, 5, 6.
And then she basically was like, also you can behind it in the bag, we'll have to simulate that you're going to see what plan is. And then she put a speech.
Oh, this is a disaster.
Are you done?
I am done.
Have a good night, everybody.
It is so fucking cool. Liam has one too.
One of the strangest things I ever did.
I have no idea, but it is now.
Oh yeah.
All votes have now been submitted and are now locked. Alright, Castaways, come on in. Once the votes have been read, the decision is final, and the castaway with the most votes will be the winner and the sole survivor of Season 2 Electric Boogaloo of Denison Survivor. Without further ado, let's read the votes. Vote 1. Somewhere in there it says Cassidy.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be.
Vote 2. Cassidy.
That's me.
Vote 3. Izzy. That's 2 votes Cassidy, 1 vote Izzy. Vote 4. It says Cassidy. That's 3 votes Cassidy, 1 vote Izzy. Vote 5. Cassidy. Vote 6. Cassidy. Vote 7. Cassidy. Vote 8. And the winner of Season 2 Electric Boogaloo of Denizen Survivor, Cassidy. Cassidy, do you have anything you'd like to say? Thank you all so much for a wonderful season. We will now take a 10-15 minute intermission. You all can use the restroom, hang out, congratulate Cassidy and Izzi and Margaret because they all did incredibly, and all of you. I mean, if you made merge, you're killing it already. So great job, everyone. The hosts and I are going to retreat into the back room to make our final decisions on our season awards. So stick around because in 10 to 15 minutes, we'll come back together, give out our season awards, and we'll have some up and coming announcements. So stick around. Yep. So hang out. Yeah, go to the restroom.
I have trauma from that room. Can I not go back in there?
Kidnapping.
I have trauma from that room.
Every time the host, alright, seriously though, Noah, every time the host has left the room collectively, not everything has gone perfect.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Oh, that would be great.
Maybe there's someone with
Yeah.
Alright, host, come with me.
Okay, we gotta get the numbers.
Let's see if this actually
Or at least who got the marks.
Okay, that's a terrible
Are you still
rendition
trying
of
to play the
the
Jeopardy?
I'm trying to play the Survivor
Sorry.
game. I don't know why that one sounds so bad.
Maybe it's just you don't know how to play the trombone. You don't know how to use it properly.
I definitely do.
Can you play this song and go?
Okay, there's.
You are my sunshine.
I can do it.
It's okay. I'll be right back in a minute. Izzi, you won! Good job! Yay! I did not win, but I got second place. I did not win, but I got second place.
And then that's the
Adding
only page
points
I had.
after the fact.
That's the only page I had there.
So you put 6 in that one 5.
Who cares?
My money goes jiggle jiggle.
Glorious. Thank you, my love.
Zoe, have you worked on the Planet Earth lab at all? Have you actually? What? Have you
Let's
worked
go,
on the
let's go.
Planet Earth lab at all? Okay. Because I haven't either, and like, I don't know how we're gonna figure out who's doing what. Low key, yeah.
Let's go.
Let me share it.
Did you win Final Trouble Council?
Last night, I decided to do something illegal.
Do the trick. Why are you confessing here?
It's just no adults.
We're all adults.
To me,
Do the baseline. No.
anyways, as we decided to go to IHOP, there was one person.
Professional in court.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely person. So we all hop into the car. There's one person that's driving that's zoomed in, and I'm getting listened to. That's it.
Duncan, I have a song prepared for you, Mr. President.
You're just giving them faces.
I like how that's a picture that's like
If anyone sees half an orange pen,
no.
Yes. Yeah, but like I'm not doing a show.
I'm the best winner. Cassidy is not. Am I a better winner? Oh yeah, you won. That's right.
You give us fucking question. Because I look at Among Us guy.
I have two.
Me, I'm going to the same place.
No, you should remember this.
That's black. That would be a way to end up.
That's a word for it.
And then tell him.
I've been major spending money. I'd like 9.
Wait, how much declining do you have left?
507. Bro, you have more than me by like.
I know.
I'm still.
You want to know how much I have left?
I got you. After this one, balance of food.
I have $20 in my declining.
Wow. I mean, actually, I shouldn't be asking that. You probably eat like a normal
Everybody thinks I'm a badass because they don't ask me for some money. I have this.
I hate it.
Izzi, I now have less than $500 declining. Hey, nice. Beautiful. Can I use that decline? Thank you.
Oh, Izzy, for the record, I don't know if you declined because of Evan. Like,
That's why I said like whether you intended for that to be the reason or not.
yeah, he did this whole dramatic speech about how he wanted to crush you or whatever, and I was like, okay.
Okay.
No,
Just give me the idea.
I made sure to say whether you intended to.
I know. I wanted to make it clear that Izzy.
Okay.
I just wanted to make it clear that.
And are you still salty about that betrayal? Because you kind of went off the deep end at that point. I don't know what that means. That's not an answer. Musical horn is not an answer, sir. No, it is not. I don't understand what the fuck you're saying. What are you doing?
Funny as shit.
Evan. Yes, I love that song.
oh my god, how crazy is
What's going on now?
Oh,
You're back. Apparently, Zoe decided to
No, not how it works.
I know. But clearly, I was Hey, the hosts are back. Pay attention.
No, keep going. Do all those same normal things.
I think we must walk away.
Pay no attention.
You
guys should all go to and then after that comes my drag show to Sing the No, it's 5:30. 5:30. It's 5:40.
I have one of the pretty complete yesterday.
Yeah, it's 5:44. And then he also sends out a new one today.
gets locked up. It's just been a busy couple weeks. Gannon, you never responded to my last story. I'm sorry, I have been extraordinarily busy. Gannon has been doing so many clips and has had to have the coolers so many times.
Yo, I think I just lost all these. That's not true. No, I sometimes really like I was in a comedy bit. Are we gonna have 30-second speeches?
30-second speeches?
We didn't get the acceptance speeches.
Yeah, we did.
If either of us would leave, you guys
Not acceptance speeches, we're just gonna
No.
I'm
I'm not sensitive. I'm not. You can say. I'm not.
I feel like we need to be more than between Duncan and Ricky a little bit more now.
Why do we have to explore? Hope you guys enjoyed the show.
Because of that.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Also, Ricky, it might be easy when you got second place, but I don't think you're sitting up here.
Yeah, because I have something to do. You're listening to the conversations that we're in. You're talking. All right, I'm gonna go back to not in this call so you can hear me in the main one. But goodbye.
This song will be pulled back together. So once the song finishes up, excuse me, you get ready to go. Or, yeah, we'll get ready to go.
Everybody, run the applause for Noah.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Noah. Wait until he's like.
I think I like how he had his big good line. That's really good.
We're showing the juror one after this.
What?
It's gonna go like the first one and the juror one.
Okay. Yeah, whatever order you want, but I think it makes sense to do awards first.
Alright. Any regrets?
Okay. Oh, did I have
You can do that. Yes.
Can we give you a round of applause for being there?
Wait.
Thank you all so much for a wonderful season. Our Castaways this season were absolutely incredible, and we have a few awards that we would like to give out to our Castaways. The kind of, superlatives, things that a lot of you did very well. So a lot of these are the similar awards we gave out last season. So the ones that we will not be giving out tonight are our spectator or fan favorite, spectator favorite, production favorite, host favorite, or main host favorite, because those will be voted on by everyone. We didn't want to just kind of confine that to here, because there were a lot of people who were spectating who weren't able to make it to that. But first and foremost, we have our hero of the season. The hero of the season is someone who the entire spectator chat, particularly this season, was ride or die with. They were behind this castaway the entire time. The spectator chat loved this person, and they very much embodied that hero energy. So our hero of the season, also when we say your name, you can just kind of stand up and give a bow or wave or something. Our hero of the season is Cassidy. Our villain of the season, however, is someone that, oh my gosh, spectator chat, people, they just hated this castaway. Oh my gosh. There were times when, from an, I was taking an objective standpoint, I'm you really shouldn't be behind. You should feel bad for them at this point. This was not, and everyone's yeah, screw them over. So that was an experience. So this is definitely someone that the spectator chat loved to hate, and I think he was doing it on purpose. Evan, Bill. It's all on the table. All right, next up, this season's underdog was someone that we all were very surprised, and I mean, not necessarily surprised, but the underdog was someone who was kind of fighting from the bottom a lot of the time. They were never really like one of no one really saw them as one of the stronger players almost the entire game, but they kept in the fight for a really long time and like doing so from the bottom a lot. So Rachel, our underdog this season, great job.
Underdog!
Killer in fifth place, what the heck? So next up, our surprise of the season. A lot of what this Castaway did was very surprising. Except for people who knew them, I suppose. That was like, yeah, that fits.
So fucking true. I already know who you're
But this Castaway, people were surprised that they didn't get out immediately. People were surprised every time that they happened to send a message in their confessional, the hot take after hot take. This season's surprise Castaway is Abby.
Please read her confessional when you get all of the permissions after the season's over. Please read her confessional. I get a little bit crazy.
All right, next up, we have our robbed juror. This is a juror, so like remember the jury who deserved to make it way farther than they did. And our host team is, and spectator chat, to be honest, is very adamant that this Castaway should have made it farther.
I'm pissed.
There's fully a campaign for this Castaway to play again because they think that we deserve to see more. And don't you all think we deserve to see more Liam? We deserve to see more Liam. You deserve that. All right. Next up is a robbed pre-juror. So this is someone who got out before the rookie, who, like, not just they are here, but not just someone who like deserved to make merge, but someone who got eliminated significantly before they deserved to. Someone we thought had a lot of potential. And honestly, you all might not have seen some of that potential, but Yo-Yo Will was killing it. He was killing it. Oh my gosh! If you saw that, he did the entire A to Z challenge, like some of y'all didn't do. And he was really bad at the clue part, but dear gosh, he did it. So Yo-Yo Will did not deserve to get out there. Dear gosh. Next up, the Castaway with the messiest game. Oh dear. I'm still struggling to wrap my head around what this game was in general. Like that's part of the reason why I advocate for this one. I just don't understand.
You created this game.
I don't know what happened. Evan, what did you do? What were you doing?
I was having a great time.
They criticize you if you don't know what you're doing.
They can't tell you you're doing it wrong if they have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. They can't tell you you're wrong.
That's my strategy.
Next up, we have our most dramatic Castaway of the season. Full-on Viking funeral. What the hell? What the hell? You go, man.
You should be a theater major.
It's a bit late for that.
Yeah, this is like these last couple of weeks.
These last couple weeks, switch.
Next up, I'm going to go ahead and move that one closer to the end because that one's pretty big. But next up, we have our biggest flame out of the season. This is one that mainly the spectators were able to see. But our main man, Matt, that guy,
Oh my God.
he showed up in his confessional. He was so strategic. He was like, oh yes, I understand this game inside and out. And like, he actually gave us really solid strategy. And then gave us
he died.
nothing. Yes, give us nothing. Yeah.
He died.
Every time I
not
see
come
this
back
man,
yet.
I look him directly in the eyes and I tell him to do his exit interview, and every single time he says, I will do it, and every single time.
No one took a selfie.
You still haven't done it! It's so sad!
I've taken a selfie with him, and I sent it to Sarah because I was locked out of the server. And it's in. Y'all need to read through his confessional. His confessional is one of the funniest places. It's just production freaking out.
Where are you?
It's 50% grand strategy, 50% us yelling at him repeatedly.
It's really funny. It's really fun how to see this. Next up, the best duo this season. We thought was a really interesting duo. They were together from the start, and I think they both were very much trying to step out of each other's shadows. And while trying to do all that fancy footwork, both tripped and fell on their faces. Give it up for Evan and Liam.
I was calling it before that was done. I was
This is why
Yeah.
you're the best duo, because it was a comedy sketch the entire
It was so funny.
We just wanted to get the first guy out because he was really annoying. I can't remember.
Yeah, we had a common
Jake?
enemy.
Yeah.
But he was cooler than all of us.
Yeah. All right, next up, we have the best tribal council. So this tribal council, like, yes, it's going to tribal council, but dear gosh, is this award going to a castaway? Like, this tribal council was made by one castaway. And that's tribal council 15. That's Richard's tribal.
Spectators love you.
For those of you who were already out and weren't able to see that, dear gosh, Ricky, that's something to read through.
I met you in the bathroom.
Yeah. Next up, we have our best physical, social, and strategic games. Actually, I'll move this one up a little bit because that one actually fits in really well. We've got our most growth castaway. So this is a castaway who we felt on production really stepped up their game. Like at every turn, they were kind of outdoing themselves, stepping it up. And particularly when like it really counted, they put in the effort. It didn't always pan out the right way, but Ricky killed it. And like, yeah, the amount of like perspective on you from the spectators, like by the end, the spectators really liked you. It was like, oh, nice. And then next up, we've got our best physical, social, and strategic games. So first up, best physical game. So this goes to the castaway who was the best at challenges, who might have won a lot of challenges here and there, you know, just a few challenges. Dear gosh, Cassidy, what the heck?
I think Ricky should win this. I'm gonna give this credit to Ricky.
How dare you take my win streak away?
I'll accept this for the fact that
Next up, we have the best social game. And by gosh, I will stand by this.
Oh, absolutely.
This castaway survived on social game alone. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to reveal it because like it'll get Margaret. This woman, she was fully neck deep in the losing side of the alliance. She had wormed her way into Cassidy's and fully betrayed them. Cassidy knew that she had betrayed them. She fully knew that. She knew that she wasn't trustworthy, but somehow Margaret managed to weasel her way and be like, oh no, I'm trustworthy now. And she was right, and it worked. How did she do that? That was, in my opinion, one of the best moves of the season, with Margaret being able to just worm her way to Cassidy's side. Like, how? That's insane, Margaret. Oh my gosh.
You do us Juror 9's prep.
And then next up, we have our mastermind, our best strategic game of the season. And this was one of the more contentious ones among the hosts, I would say. There are a lot of people who are really good contenders for that this season. But we decided to kind of highlight someone who we thought they put a lot of thought into what they were trying to do. And I think that what they were trying to do was have a strategic-based game. And that's something that is really important. I think that they had strategy at the forefront of what they were trying to do. They were very much trying to be strategic about all the moves that they worked, or that they were trying to do. And honestly, some of the reasons they had were right. They just had a piece or two of information that wasn't quite on point that ended up with Liam going home early. But honestly, great strategy. Okay, next up, I would argue the most important award of the season. Confessionalist of the season. Yeah. So this award goes to the castaway who had the best confessional of the season. Our spectators love our confessionals. Our production love our confessionals. And This is the only award that has a special prize for it. If you win Confessionalist of the Season, you get a permanent confessional on the Survivor Hub server.
Will our previous confessionalists please come to the forefront?
You go, Sarah. If you're on the Hub already, if you're not, you will join it today. But Sarah has been updating her confessional throughout the season. She's been answering some of the confessional questions that our Castaways were asked, sometimes more than some of y'all. Our confessional, we had a number of strong contenders for confessionalists. Like, particularly, y'all need to check. I'm just gonna say, Liam, Evan, Abby, Cassidy, all of their confessionals were really great. Abby's in a very different way than everyone else's. Like,
for context, for a brief period of time, I turned my confessional into a glorified group chat with my girlfriends. It was just us talking for a while.
yeah, it was all or nothing. But when she was there, boy, was she there. Liam had something that I thought was wonderful. He had videos, like confessional style videos, like in Survivor, where he was updating. Y'all need to read through and watch those. They're awesome. Evan had his at Gannon Weinberg shenanigans that eventually turned into a D&D campaign through his confessional, keeping folks engaged. He kept folks really engaged on his Nuzlocke. That man's Nuzlocke was insane. And then he decided to do a second Nuzlocke. Like when Mason did that bit, Evan actually did it. Like, man actually started playing Black and White 2 Nuzlocke and keeping us posted his confessional. Dear gosh. Yes, even after he was out, his confessional was like killing it. And Cassie's confessional was among, I would say, the most consistent confessional throughout the season. Every thought that she had, everything that was going on, she put in there. She had regular spectator challenges. She had like all of her thoughts, and as she highlighted, the messages. Cassidy, last time I checked, and it's been a little bit, Cassidy has more messages on the server than I do.
Yep.
Including in all the production categories that y'all can't see. To be fair, we do have a lot of in-person meetings, like, but that's why our confessional this season is Cassidy. And finally, the player of the season. So, the player of the season is not necessarily the best player of the season, not necessarily the winner of the season, but the player of the season is the player who defined the season. This player, the way that they acted their game, it shaped the way that the season unfolded, it set the tone, and if they were not there, more than any other castaway, the season would not have happened in the way that it did at all. And from controlling a lot of the game for Merge and within her tribe, Cassidy, you are the player of the season. So, congratulations to everyone who won some awards. If you didn't win any of those, don't worry. The favorite awards will still be coming out on the Discord shortly. But that's our awards section. Next up, we're going to move into a little gift for you all, made by our lovely Morgan Weinberg. So everyone get hyped because this is good.
It's so cool. The first one's worse because I made it when I came in here today, but the other one's fine.
They're amazing and you should love them.
It's going to be incredibly impressive for a same-day presentation. So
There are two for your viewing pleasure.
be impressed or else.
Nice to play it. Beautiful.
Give us an anime intro.
Oh.
Okay, that's it.
Oh, the other one's
yes.
Okay, update. So I'm gonna make a juror animatic for every juror that got out, but I only did one because that's the only one I got to. But the other ones are gonna come out eventually.
It's really high quality, so
I hope you use the fun.
I did.
Yes!
Yeah.
Has an idol who can only use on someone else. Which will probably use on them. Anything from the nose, I think, can take an idol.
Cassidy gave me your item. And yeah, I haven't used his shield idol on me and that makes an happen. We got the majority of people. We'll be fine.
Morgan, say the thing about the last line.
Huh?
Say the thing about the last line.
What thing?
The last line in the video.
That was for me.
Oh! I asked people for lines!
Okay, some of you got asked for lines because I wanted to do lines for it, but the last part was not even a line, it was just the first thing Liam put in his confessional.
Yeah, that was my intro message.
Yeah, Morgan. He's a theater major here at Duncan, and he wants to win Survivor whenever it's hit.
Yeah, he put that in at the start of the season. Okay.
We fan
Yeah.
over you guys
Morgan,
so much.
Morgan, are you gonna put this in the Discord?
Yes. Also, there's one that's unfinished, but I guessed in the beginning of the season that you and Cassidy would like break it off because you would like not do enough. And I started an animatic for it. I got like 30 seconds in, but.
Also, quick mention, Riley, are you in here?
He's right
there. I did nothing to break up your draft. Everyone. So
that's true.
I didn't screw up your draft.
How many drafts did I mess up with the Vikings?
So many!
So many!
Okay. Yeah, and one award I did forget to give out is our draft winner this season. My computer is fully dead, but I do know who it is. And I think I remember the point total. But our draft winner this season is Alexandra, the most beloved spectator.
Favorite spectator!
Who's fully muted?
So,
I know, her camera is off and she's muted, but we love her.
we love her so much. Alexandra drafted Cassidy, Izzi.
Oh my god, wait!
Wait, come back!
It's not showing up. It's not showing up.
Alexandra, can you say who you drafted? I don't remember. My computer said.
I drafted Cassidy, Izzi, Isabel, and Rachel.
That's done. Yeah,
Everybody
Sean was very
get rolled.
close.
I don't even go to Denison. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, and continuing the precedent that no one who goes to Denison can win the draft, because season 1 wasn't won by someone at Denison either.
Who's the new worst draft?
Noah.
It's Noah.
Noah's draft was so
Wait. Let me not.
Wait, Noah, who did you draft?
Our new current worst draft is Noah Chartier. Sorry, Noah Weinberg, main host of Denison Survivor Season 2 and Season 1, with, if I recall correctly, 54 points in his final draft. Am I correct in that?
Yeah. It might have been 56.
It was so bad.
I don't,
67.
67.
I don't care about the points. I care about the baseball.
7 points.
You need 2 more, Noah.
That is not a joke, guys.
It's not his fault you guys didn't get Canada fast enough.
Wait, Noah, who did you draft?
I wanted to do an underdog draft, draft some of the people that other people were drafting.
Yeah. There was a reason we didn't draft him.
Yeah, so I drafted Noah Fishman, Caitlin, Claire, and Bobby.
Dude, Bobby was the fucking best.
So y'all know how that went for me. Caitlin was going strong for a while though. She made me happy. Okay.
Yeah, it's weekly update.
Yes, but we have an announcement from our weekly update team.
Good afternoon, he, she's, theys, and Castaways. So if you don't know, over the season, we've been doing weekly updates. We have a total of 11.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in, it's a lot of work to do, and
This is much better.
Over that time, we've put in a lot of effort into cropping the videos, editing them, writing the scripts, and getting everything up for spectators to watch. We try to make them entertaining, and we hope this continues on with each semester of Denison Survivor. We also did exit interviews. You'll all be able to see that after the season is officially wrapped up. But every week we had our pick for the Survivor of the Week, Castaway of the Week. And so we calculated all the numbers. Some of them got lost in translation. And out of all the castaways that we picked, there was a three-way tie for the most votes.
Each of them having 3.
3. Between Cassidy, Rachel, and Duncan.
Damn.
Speaking of exit interviews, you all will be able to do one. Like the final 3, Margaret, and then our Cassidy, our winner, or maybe not. Maybe you're never exiting. Maybe we'll give you.
I will always be.
It's the end game. The residence interview. Yeah. You know
the confessionalist interview.
The confessionalist, yeah, something like that. And then of course Izzi will interview as well. And just, I don't know, it's been really fun. We're going to put all the videos on the YouTube channel. Like, they're all unlisted right now, but since the season's over, we don't have to hide any information from you guys. So we'll put them, like, public, and you guys can watch them all. Or you can watch none of them, but I would suggest you watch them. Because we aren't sponsored, so we never talk about Raid Shadow Legends, or Audible, or Honey. So, they're really fun.
Honey is a free brother.
Or Renegade, we don't talk about that either. And it's just been really fun, kind of, making fun of you guys. In our videos, and you can hear our opinions and the things we got mad at you for doing, and the things we didn't get mad at you for doing, things we ignored, stuff that you guys thought was like a big deal and it wasn't, or the other way around, things that you thought, oh, this isn't a big deal, and then we're like talking about it for like 5 minutes in the video. So hope you enjoy. It was so great to watch you guys all this season.
Why don't we introduce our overall picks, or favorite castaways? Would you like to start?
Yeah, so in our last video, we all picked our favorite castaways. No one, Maggie, you're in that one, but no spoilers, we're not telling you there, so you have to watch. But so for our last weekly update video, we picked our castaway of the season. My castaway of the season was Margaret.
She gone.
She was my castaway of the season. Yeah, and then Thomas.
And then my castaway of the season is Rachel.
Yo.
Always showing up best dressed to all the in-person events.
So true.
Honorary award of the best dressed castaway.
I think somebody mentioned that. I think I mentioned that to you multiple times, but I just felt the need to remind you again.
Thank you.
And that's all we have.
And with that, we will move into recognizing the members of our production team. So, if you were on production team members, please go ahead and
oh my god, we
come
come
on
back.
up.
Just kidding, we didn't walk away.
Yeah. So if we can have. If you could do like in line with me, that'd be
Most damn you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can pretty much do all of you. So this is the majority of our production team from this season. There are a few people that we're missing.
Can I move the camera so that's
But yeah, we're missing Michael and Madeline, I believe.
and Alex.
And Alex. Alex is, yeah, we are legitimately missing Alex.
They're here in spirit.
Yeah, they are here in spirit. But I want to take a moment to recognize our incredible production team. This season, as Ricky mentioned, would not have been possible without them. The amount of hours that this production team put into the season is arguably more than y'all. Actually, almost certainly more than y'all.
Yes, because anytime you guys were on, we were on as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys had to survive the game. We had to survive you.
That's so true.
So yeah, our host.
It's true.
Our host team had weekly 2-hour meetings. We had some teams working this stuff behind the scenes. Like I know I was in between 2 and 4 meetings a week. So I want to highlight. I know Zoe, Thomas, Sarah, Maggie, Morgan, me, Alex, some did daily, too long didn't read messages for our spectators because y'all do a lot in a day and they don't have the time to read all that, but we do, and we love it. So we got to summarize that. Thank you all of y'all for, even when it was a day when you were busy, catching up with someone else and putting in the work to do that. We had our wonderful, oh my gosh, the weekly update team. Like, just another round of applause. Those really made it feel legit for our spectators. Those were absolutely incredible. And each of you have made this so wonderful. Going from last season, where for the majority of the season was essentially just me running this with a group of friends, to having an entire team like this, it was just incredible. And I know each of you, I've had an extensive individual conversations with, the amount of advisors and confidants that I've had on this team, the amount of individual work and ownership that they've taken, and each of them had their own field that they, took ownership of and ran. So just thank you all so much. Production members, you all are good to go. Everyone give our production team.
Can I have Ricky, Alec, and Duncan just duck really quickly?
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll do it so.
There's the one with Duncan looking at it.
I don't give our members introduction. Next up, we have the host team.
I think that Hayden is the villain of this season too. Yeah.
That's arguably true. Okay.
In my life, if I could vote for me, I still would.
This is the team that, oh my gosh, the number of hours that they poured in particular was simply incredible.
Yeah.
This motherfucker still runs this shit.
The weekly meetings, the work outside of it, these folks, you saw them each write challenges, and the amount of iterations those challenges went through. You may think that they were kind of rough, some of them might have been a bit rough. The number of iterations that those challenges went through before y'all got to see them.
If you look really closely, you can all see your faces in our dark circles.
Yes.
That Nuzlocke was under development for a literal months.
Yeah,
I had so much shit to work through. You have no idea.
Yeah. So I want to take a
you all
minute
hated my challenges.
to recognize each of our host members. So Gannon Weinberg, thank you so much for, you can read that later, but thank you so much for always having.
I'm gonna read this in front of. I'm gonna read this in front of everyone when we're done with this little.
Go for it.
Wrap up.
But I'm gonna say some of the things. But this man, the amount of inventiveness that he brought to our host team was incredible. Just all of his ideas were so out of the box, so fresh, and I feel brought so much excitement. The job of a host is to host challenges, to come up with fresh ones. And Gannon, I think, more than anyone else, epitomized that was his job. And he took that seriously and he killed that. So thank you so much, Gannon, for a wonderful season. Next up, Mason.
Yeah.
Y'all heard what he said about the Nuzlocke. Y'all played, most of you, the Nuzlocke. That is such a hard challenge to make even remotely work. And
he made it work. The cleanness of particularly the presentation was, he put so much effort into that. Oh my gosh. And like, that was really well done. And Mason also just has some really inventive ideas. This season, just to be frank with you, was much longer than we anticipated. And Mason did a really good job of kind of intentionally finding ways to keep folks engaged, keep folks on the server, and I really appreciate that. So thank you, Mason. Next up, we've got Morgan. When it comes to just sheer dedication, like put in the work for the hours, Morgan is insane. People say I don't think about much else. Morgan is one of the few people that I can go complete Survivor Gremlin mode with, and she will meet me where I am. Like, I don't know if you all watched Abby's talent show video, but if you watch very carefully, you can see Morgan and I in the background of that, looking at the computer, just completely freaking out over the season.
No, it's because Cassidy was doing her guesswork.
Yeah, and she was like fully predicting everything right. It was insane. Like the amount of awareness. Oh my gosh. Dear gosh, Cassidy. But like there are so many things, and this is actually true for Mason too. I wrote this in your letter, but I am on the spot. But both of them, they did so much art for this season. The vast majority of that, I didn't ask them to do. They just took ownership of it and like were going for it. Morgan's animatic, like no one asked her to do that. She's just popping off. Like what the heck? So thank you so much. Like I'm so excited. Next up, we've got Cassidy Weinberg. Cassidy was the rock of the host team this season.
The Cassidy is the powerhouse of the host team.
So true. We were all very scatterbrained all the time. Our meetings got so long, so frequently, particularly with this group. With some of the folks in the group, it was hard to rein in the group here and there.
Don't look at me, Scoos.
Okay,
He's not looking at you.
Oh, really?
He's looking at me.
Wow.
Look at me.
Maybe you should maybe more.
Okay. And this is exactly what Cassidy does. When we need to be reined in, she does it. She took the notes at all of our host meetings. I think some of you all got a chance to read some of those. They were both incredibly helpful and fun to read. And whenever I just kind of needed to like restructure, need someone to talk to about it, like Cassidy was just always there. And whenever we needed someone who's like very on top of their stuff, essentially Cassidy was what I couldn't be because I was main host.
Izzi as fuck.
That too. Which I really appreciate. So thank you so much, Cassidy. Excuse Margaret. Excuse this season, and in general, just immediately bought on to Survivor production in particular. At the Castaway last season, they were enjoying it, but once they got a taste of what production looked like, we were schmoovin'. I've never used that term before. I don't think I will again. I think it was appropriate. I think it's appropriate. In this circumstance, at least. So, Scoos was very much helping keep some momentum behind the season, having a lot of ideas, and really just like being a very much central host figure of like, this is what a host should look like. And I really think that a lot of like our entire team did that very well, but I'm just blown away that we had such a dedicated team who was putting in the work, putting in the hours for you all. And Scoos was also incredibly good at like keeping focus as to what the point of the season was, because it's very easy to get lost with a lot of the attention's on the hosting all the time. But our goal is to create a season that's able to highlight you all. We want this to be your experience. We want this to be for you, and we want to be able to celebrate the work you all are putting in, and not have the attention be on us. So I think that a lot of our host team were really good about that this season, because it isn't always easy to keep at the forefront of your mind. But everyone give it up for Scoos. Sweet. Now we can move on to some other announcements, now that everyone's going to appreciate it.
Hold on. Hold on a moment.
Yeah.
I think we should take a moment to appreciate our main host.
Just stand there silently and appreciate the man. Stand there.
Yeah.
Just stand there and look pretty like you always do.
I knew you could do
That's
it.
my favorite one.
Understand that completely and truly that none of us, stand front.
You're talking out of. Yeah, okay, thank you. I don't want to look.
Please.
Anyway, I made this, if y'all were at the last tribal council, which most of you were not, I made this point last season. The audacity of this ginger! But the sheer audacity of this man who run like two separate student organizations, found two student organizations, be on like 5 different committees, and still be this fucking dedicated. I do not understand where the energy comes from, where the dedication comes from, where the audacity comes from. It's stored there.
He's been storing it up since he was in middle school.
It's true. But I have been watching this man since I joined the production team last season. You can attest because you were also on production last season. He's a maniac. And he says that like we picked up where we couldn't do, we didn't do shit compared to this guy. But yes, we put in work, but I don't have words. I don't have words, but you know.
I do. A fuck ton.
We appreciate you, man. Thank you for being amazing.
If you have seen the amount of notes, spreadsheets, procedural documents, ideas, and other things that Noah has come up with to make sure that Survivor is going to continue on, whether we stay with it or not, your mind would be blown, because ours are. He has done so much for not only this entire season, but making sure that Survivor can continue has a quote precedence, if I believe you called it, so that no matter what happens, future freshmen and people are going to love Survivor and continue playing it because it is what made our year. No, we love you.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go back.
We should also know that.
Are
you done with us?
Y'all are good to stay. I've got one more announcement. It'll be next time I go on the line for it.
We're doing this.
But so I do have a number of announcements moving forward. So first and foremost, this is just like a few procedural announcements, then we've got the exciting ones. First and foremost, this season's server is going to be archived soon. So I'm going to give y'all through the end of this weekend to put your final thoughts into your confessionals. Once we finish with that, we're going to lock down the server. All of you will get spectator roles, and you'll be able to see everything. All the exit interviews, TLDRs, spectator chat, everyone else's confessionals.
Starboard!
Oh my god. If you ever saw spectator starring messages, those were the funny ones. We've got a little channel with all that compiled.
A massive archive of everything you've ever said that anyone considered it even remotely worthwhile.
Yeah. It is pretty funny.
Every now and again there will be a little bit of context, but not enough.
Not enough. Yeah, so you all will get access to the server. Please go ahead and do that in your confessionals over the next day or so. Next thing, we are going to be moving, just like last season, for those of you who weren't there, we moved everything from the season server, because right now almost all of the Survivor discussions happen in the season server, as it makes sense, to our Denizen Survivor Hub Discord server. So I know some of you are already on that from last season, some of you aren't yet, but we will send that link to our server. In the Hub server, that's where we're going to have all our discussions, that's where Cassie will have her permanent confessional, just like Sarah does. That's where we'll post the last of our awards. That's where we'll go over a lot of the stuff regarding the future of Survivor, and that's just going to remain as a vibrant space. We've got a few things that will be coming up, maybe even before next season. But that's the exciting part that you're all thinking about, right? Next season. So, last thing before that really quickly is that moving forward, we like learning from things that have happened. This season obviously wasn't perfect. And we already have a lot of things that we're going to be improving moving forward. But we have a season 2 feedback form that we would very much appreciate if all of you filled out. And I'm not just talking to the Castaways, particularly the Castaways, please fill it out, the Castaways. But We also have it for our production members, our spectators, and the form is different based off of who you are. You kind of like do it in Google Forms. It's like this neat thing where like you look different based off of the answers you give it. It's cool. But if you could please like take 20 minutes or so to fill that out at some point over the next couple of days, that would be incredibly helpful. Sometime before the end of the weekend would be wonderful because we will take those genuinely seriously moving into the future. We have a challenge archive that includes all the challenges from this season and last season, and hopefully our hosts will be finishing doing their logistics on that one. I know some of us are very good at it, but we will be compiling all that information. Trust me, if you fill out the form, it will be taken into consideration moving into the future. But as far as next season goes, because I'm sure that's what you're all more interested in, is that, as I've mentioned to a number of you, I'm not going to be main host next season. That wouldn't necessarily be healthy for the organization for the same person to be running it season after season. And because of that, I think it makes sense for me to take a step back. So I will be moving into another position within Survivor. I'm not leaving y'all all behind. But I will become what is called what we're calling a totem of Survivor, where essentially I will move into a more administrative, more advisory position, where I will run Survivor as a student organization. So anything that has to do with things between seasons, with the hub,
He gets sent to a nice farm where he has plenty of room to run around.
Tiring. Sometimes I can still hear his voice.
It's like he's still
Is that
here.
the ghost of Noah Chartier?
Anything that sets a precedent for future seasons, all that stuff will be with me. One thing that also is very exciting about that I will share now is that recently some of the host team and I had a very exciting meeting with one Patrick Fina. And yeah, that man. And moving into next semester, Denison Survivor will be an official program of play. So
we get school money.
Yeah! So we've already been reserving spaces with Click. We've already been working with them. Weinberg knows we exist. I met with the board of trustees last night. They know we exist.
He had like a meeting with Weinberg like early on in the semester, just like in the middle of Slater First Floor.
The audacity
of this ginger.
Noah, did you meet Michael Lexi?
I have not yet. But we'll get a TV show adaptation.
Denison alumni, Steve Carroll.
But regardless, Survivor is still up and coming. And if you're interested in being a part of the future of helping run Survivor, like the more production members you've seen, our season 3 production application form will come out soon. But the biggest piece of information is, well, what is the season 3? Because if I'm not running it, who will be? So there's a member of our host team who, moving forward, will be taking over the day-to-day seasonal procedures. So that host, and now main host, please step forward.
All right, Castaways, come on in. Okay, so this man approached me a couple weeks ago. So backstory. He asked us all when we were applying to be hosts. He warned us in our interviews, like, hey, everyone on the host team is going to be considered for main host. Is that anything that you'd actually be interested in doing? And I'm like, we'll see how the semester goes. We'll see how busy I get, and I'll get back to you on that later. Because I legitimately did not know. Because last semester didn't go well for me, but this one did. So I told him halfway through the semester, just put me in the running. But
well, you made it.
Look how far we've come, baby. But no, legitimately, every single one of these guys could have been main hosts, and I would have been happy with it. But Noah approached me Like, just like you've got the charisma, you've got this, and I started listing off all these things, and I almost sobbed. But I am absolutely honored. But being made host means that I have a lot more responsibilities now, and a lot more planning to do. But like, with that said, we have like already started a whole bunch of planning for season 3, so it's not.
There can only be one host.
No. Get your cheesy steampunk novel looking ass out of here.
Give over your position! Yay!
As part of season 3, the Codemaster will be joining the host team permanently. But yeah, the Codemaster will be interacting mostly with the Castaways, mostly for idle hints as well, hosting some challenges that are focused Mason in Codes and Ciphers, doing their whole thing. But they had a lot of good points that they brought up in the time that they mutinized us. It's fine. But on the other hand of that, to your antithesis, we have someone to deal with the spectator side of things. So if I would be able to introduce our publicist, Sarah Schenberger, who could come up. As of right now, this is all that we have confirmed for the host team. Everyone who wants to be a host is going to have to apply again. But so far, it's just me and these two.
They'll be sent out on the top.
Yeah, they'll be out when production, like when production of applications come out, post applications as well. But right now, it is just us 3. These 2 will not be hosting challenges unless it is codes based, like I said. But that is pretty much most of what we have planned. Other than a few other things, just little details. But there's a
It's a cardigan.
Yeah! I love this. It's upside down. Is it?
That's a jacket?
It's a jacket.
Kind of looks like a necktie.
It's a jacket.
It's a jacket.
Who cares?
What did you say it looks like?
It has exactly the same amount of fabric as a necktie.
A necktie?
Yeah!
Did you switch over the input to USB-C? Laptop USB-C?
Fuck this shit up. There's the bed. Oh, the music goes good. That's a shame. Anyways, there it is. Jesus Christ. Yo. We'll take a second.
Morgan's cup.
The Goblin Goblet.
The Goblin Goblet. That is Goblin Goblet.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
You're good.
No, go ahead.
Thanks for playing.
We'll see you all later on the hub. We'll see you all later, hopefully, being spectators, production, whatever, for Dennis and Survivor Season 3, the new batch.
What happened to Charlotte and
Are we allowed to go?
We're good to go.
God bless.
Yeah.
Have a lovely night.
Have a lovely night.
Make sure to fill out the form as soon as I send. I'm going to send out a few things on email really quickly. That'll be the feedback form, link to the hub. Once you get on the hub, make sure to change your name to include your place you got this season. It's already formatted. We will not be having production be in your names on that server anymore.
Just a real quick thing, if I ever reach out to you asking for voice lines, just give them to me.
Castaways, you're free to go. As well. If I could ask the host team to stick around for a few minutes.
Morgan, can you stay for a few minutes? I just